You're looking down on the biggest house in college football, Michigan Stadium, Ann Arbor. Today, more than 100,000 people will come for an 80th consecutive time to watch the Michigan Wolverines play against the #1 team in the nation, the Miami Hurricanes. Miami opened their season beating the preseason favorite Florida State 31-0. Coach Jimmy Johnson, 5th season, 42-8. They've won their last 19 road games. They have the nation's longest winning streak at 13 straight. And they come in fairly confident and well rested after having had a week off. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson along with Bob Greasy. Bob, this Miami team, I guess, believes they can win anywhere.
Well, Jimmy Johnson believes that these are business trips, not football trips. No family, no sightseeing, no friends, just business. 20 of the 60 players he bought on the trip are making their first business trip. The other thing, he gives them some space, their comfort zone, he calls them. They are the loosest college football team I've ever seen.
Now, these Michigan Wolverines had their pride punctured by 2 points over at South Bend last weekend when they had very high hopes, still do have high hopes for the season, but they're coming in for their home opener now. Bo Schembechler's 20th year. He's won 17, lost 1 and tied 1, and he really wants this one.
Psychologically, I would think that the Hurricanes are ripe to be picked because the home crowd is here. The Hurricanes have had 2 weeks to gloat over that #1 thrashing of Florida State. Bo Schembechler wants a slow tempo. He doesn't want to get into a foot race with the speed that Miami has.
Well, he can't match him.
No way. He's got the size. He wants a power game, but not the speed.
Miami may be one of the quickest football teams in the country. We saw a quick one last week, but right now the Michigan Wolverines are about to come into the stadium, and when they do, there'll be an enormous roar. Bo Schembechler, 175, 45-4 in his 20th season at the University of Michigan. And as we said, Miami came here in 1984, ranked #1 in the nation, and they got beat 22-14 when Bernie Kosar was the quarterback of Miami. So now the roar starts to swell up, and as the Wolverines come into the stadium, they'll all leap up and wrap the Go Blue banner hanging across the entry. Crowd may be right around 105,000 by the time they get through counting them today. Now listen to it.
ABC's College Football is brought to you by Honda, who invites you to experience the new Civic 4-door sedan at your local Honda dealer. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
We had some rain in Ann Arbor last week and again last night. But the weather today is just fine. A bit muggy, a bit hot. As noted, this only the second meeting between these two teams. That's what happened there in 1984. And the flip of the coin going on down in the center of the field with the referee Jim Kimmerling conducting the flip of the coin. It is a mixed crew today between the Big Ten officials and the Southern Independent officials. Michigan won the toss. They deferred to the second half kickoff, so Miami will have the ball first. And I got a feeling, Bob Greasy, that may be the way Bo Schembechler wanted it. Right now, let's check in with Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith, I had a chance to go inside Michigan's locker room before the game. I talked to Bo yesterday about it. He granted me permission, and it was like listening to a Newt Rockne speech. He got me very fired up. He said, gentlemen, we have the opportunity of a lifetime. We can win this game. We will win this game. Just play your hearts out, play your butts off, and we can do it. You're proud to wear that Michigan uniform. And it was very, very inspirational, so we'll see.
He ain't a bad salesman.
It ain't surprising to me. I've known Bo Schembechler for a long time, and you know what you see on the sideline sometimes, Keith, is a little bit different. You see the dark glasses, you see him yelling at the officials and talking to his players. His players and the fans at Michigan love this man. They'd do anything for him. And if anybody can fire up a ball club, it's Bo Schembechler. And I'm not surprised at the speech Mike Adams just told us. He's got these Wolverines ready to play.
After his second bout of heart surgery, he's lost some weight. Looks like a kid bouncing around and says he hasn't felt better in a long, long time. Miami is wearing the white, of course. Michigan, it is the home maize and blue. Mike Gillette will kick off. He is a senior from St. Joe, Michigan. Miami's return people drifting into their position as Mike Gillette puts it on the tee. Number 3 is Randall Hill, a sophomore from Miami. And number 35, Darrell Spencer, a freshman from Merritt Island, Florida. Miami is a relatively young football team, but they are very, very quick and very well coached. And we are ready to play ball at Michigan Stadium. That is Hill a yard deep in the end zone, and he has a hole to the outside and comes to the 30, or maybe just short up to the 29. So Miami has pretty good field position now as they'll set up first down on their own 29-yard line. And you can't predict what Miami is going to do because Steve Walsh, their quarterback, is always given the option of changing things. Normally you would think the first series of plays would be programmed. It is the tailback or the I-back, Leonard Conley, and Conley will have a yard, maybe. John Milligan brought him down. Here's the way Miami lines up. Steve Walsh out of St. Paul, Minnesota is your quarterback. Cleveland Gary and Leonard Conley are the running backs, and both catch the ball a lot, and they're very good. The wideouts are Dale Dawkins, Randall Hill, the offensive front, Chudzinski, he's from Toledo, Bruce, Sullivan, Holder, Garcia, and O'Neill. They're not the biggest offensive front you're going to see, but they are very efficient. The line splits offensively for Miami, not very wide, so they give good protection. And Cleveland Gary is hunted down by Alex Marshall, an outside linebacker, right about the line of scrimmage. But there is a man shaken up on the play, and he is a big man in the Michigan scheme of things. Number 60 shaken up. Gary gets up a little slow, but it's Mark Messner, who is the bell cow of the Michigan defense, who got up very slowly off the ground.
Keith, the first 2 plays, the Michigan defense threw a different look at Miami's offense. They came out in a 4-man line. They are normally a 3-man line. As you see right there, they are mixing it up very well against the Hurricanes very early in the ball game.
They have to take Messner out of the ball game, and that gets a whistle from the referee, Jim Kimmerling, and I think what he wants here is for everybody to move back from along the sideline. So now we'll play football. There's the front group for Michigan, and the linebackers, as you see there. Messner is out of the ball game right now, and the defensive secondary for Michigan as Walsh drops the throw on 3rd down and 10. Throws just over the 40-yard line, and the catch is made by Dale Dawkins, who's 6'1", 195, a junior out of Vero Beach, and he reels it in just over the 40. And that should be a Miami first down.
And a big one, Keith. Whenever you're on the road, especially when you're in front of a big crowd that was all fired up after those first 2 defensive plays by Michigan, to make a first down, it kind of quiets everything down and gives you a fresh start.
I think having to take Messner out of the ball game sort of spoiled things a little bit right there for the Michigan defense. They looked a little confused, and they did not get good coverage on Dawkins to the sideline. They'll go back to Conley, who bounces off the first hit, fumbles the football. Michigan diving for it, and they've got it. So Conley took a wicked lick at the line of scrimmage. Ball squirted loose, and the Wolverines cover it. Anthony Mitchell.
Take a look from behind the defense. Conley's going to make a good move. Now watch 88, Brett White, come in right there and knocks the ball loose. Conley trying to make an effort to get more yardage. The ball comes loose, the first big turnover. Watch White, number 88.
Now Michigan to the attack. The quarterback is Michael Taylor. Let's see what they come out doing. Out of the I formation, Taylor sets throws on the first down. the ball is right on the numbers of Chris Callaway, and he just flat bluffed. I mean, he hit him right in the heart of two, and he had a man in front of it. Taylor, Jared Bunch, the fullback, Tony Bowles, the tailback, McMurtry and Callaway are the wide people, and Callaway wants to go hide right now. The tight end is Derek Walker. Strepanak weighs over 300 pounds. Huzar weighs right at 300 pounds. Dingman, Vitale, and Ramirez. Callaway's out of the ball game, and John Colasar goes in. It's 2nd down and 10. Ball is just short of the 40-yard line in Miami territory. And Taylor back on 2nd down. Pulls it down, takes off, and he's run down from behind by Greg Mark, number 94, from Pennsauken, New Jersey. 6'4", 240. He is very, very quick inside. He works with Bill Hawkins, Russ Maryland, and Willis McGeese. The backers are also very fast people. From Clark and Shannon, and one of their best, Rod Carter, is not playing because of knee surgery. Barry, Harden, McDowell, and Ellis, the secondary for Miami. Callaway is back in. Michigan 3 wideouts. 3rd down and about 8. Taylor has time. Pass thrown underneath for the tight end, Derek Walker, a senior from Glenwood, Illinois, and he's got a 1st down at the Miami 26-yard line. Derek Walker played very well in the ball game at Notre Dame. In fact, he was chosen by the coaching staff as the offensive player of that game.
Well, Keith, what Michigan has done both on defense in the first series and offensively is different than what Miami has been preparing for the last 2 weeks. Offensively, they came out throwing. Defensively, they gave them a different look.
Double wide, top of the picture. On 1st down, Taylor goes to Bowles. Tony Bowles gets in there for about 2 yards to the 24. Here's Al Trafford.
The Nittany Lion is purring right now on State College. The Nittany Lion purring because at 1:43 left to go in the game, Eddie Johnson will block this punt from Boston College. With 48 seconds left, Ray Teresi kicks a 37-yard field goal, and Penn State escapes, beating BC 23-20.
No score here at Ann Arbor. Michigan Stadium, 2nd down and 8 for the Wolverines. Just inside the Miami 25. Taylor takes off to the 13 and a 1st down for the Wolverines. When Michael Taylor came out of high school, he was advertised across the country as being one of the best option quarterbacks around. Only Jamel Holloway, who wound up at Oklahoma, was more highly touted.
For sure, he was the 2nd best coming out. Smart play right here. It's a quarterback draw the entire way. 49 is Crum, the linebacker. As you mentioned, this defense has great speed and quickness, but the draw play on artificial turf is good for Michigan.
Just short of the 13. 1st down for the Wolverines. Ball goes to Bowles, bounces to the outside to the 10. That's a pickup of about 3. Maurice Crum, who is a sophomore linebacker on the weak side. He'll go off to the split inside. He wears number 49 in white right there. And, boy, they just can't talk enough about this youngster.
Well, he was a defensive, Southeastern Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks ago against Florida State. They've got some good linebackers on this ball club. He is the youngest. He's getting to play because of the injury to Rod Carter, their preseason All-American. And they may not get him out of the lineup when Carter comes back.
John Colasar wide to the top of the picture. Michigan operating out of the I formation. It's Tony Bowles to the 5. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Bowles took a lick from Kenny Berry, but Tony put his head down. Bowles weighs in at 190 pounds, Berry at 185, and add all of the energy to that hit, and it was a heavy one.
You look at the offensive line of Michigan averaging 286 pounds. Miami's defensive line averages 254. That's an average per man of 32 pounds that the Hurricanes are outweighed. You know, Keith, the other thing is, I think Michigan is much more comfortable playing on artificial turf than they were last week playing on grass at Notre Dame. I think they feel better about it. The backs like it better. Miami, of course, plays on grass, but when you win 19 straight road games, you can play on any surface.
They brought the chains all the way across the field to check the location of the ball, see whether or not they have picked up a 1st down. They don't have to get all the way to the 3. They're going to be just short of the 1st down. they can get their first down, maybe the length of the ball short of the 3-yard hash mark. So it's second down and short for the first down. And it'll go in the books as second down from just inside the 4. Just getting underway, and so far, Miami picking up 1 first down in its initial possession. Michigan's defense swarming, recover the fumble by Conley, and now the Wolverines are trying to stick it in the end zone and get the early lead. We're at 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. Ball, back of the ball is just touching the 4-yard stripe. Tracy Williams checks in as Michigan goes to the wishbone, set up their option behind Michael Taylor. Rides it off to the first man. That's Jared Bunch, the fullback, and the 240-pounder is stuffed by Randy Shannon, linebacker for Miami.
There's Shannon right here. Now watch as he just gets right into the gap and stuffs this play. The power, it's not wishbone. It looks like wishbone, but it's power football.
Here, there was no deception in that, was there?
Not at all.
And so it brings up a 4th down. And Mike Gillette will go for the 3 points to get something out of this possession. And he gets a 22-yard field goal through the heart of the uprights, and the Wolverines get on the board. So Mike Gillette gets the field goal try. Bo Schembechler taking the points instead of gambling. College campuses, and there's the president's house. New one here, James J. Duderstadt, has just taken the position as president of the University of Michigan. All right, the drive, if you can call it that, 36 yards, not that long a drive, 9 plays, and instead of going on 4th down and just inches for the first down, Bo Schembechler electing to take the points. And I can never disagree with that.
Well, I think it was third in inches, but I don't think it was 4th in inches. They lost a couple of yards, maybe a yard and a half, so the 3 points was a good choice.
3rd and inches. All right, it goes back to Hill, and this time he's at the 1-yard line, and again he's got a little daylight to the outside, but the pursuit this time is better for Michigan, and they shut him down at the 20. Now again, Al Trautwig.
All right, Keith, as we told you earlier, Vanderbilt's lost 12 straight on the road, and a wild game with Rutgers right now at Giant Stadium. With 5 minutes left, a 49-yard field goal has brought Rutgers to within 1. Back to you.
Well, let's see what Miami can do with it as they come from their 20, trailing Michigan 3-0. Notre Dame beat Michigan State earlier today, 20-3, up at East Lansing. So it's sort of Michigan Day here on ABC Sports. That's Cleveland Gary, the fullback, bouncing outside with it to find some daylight. And he's close to the marker as he turned it upfield. Rip Welburn and David Arnold running him to the sidelines, and it depends on where he hit the chalk. Moving out to the 30, over the 31 for the first down.
Keith, I was just going to say, you know, if there's one man on this Miami team right now, offensively, that you look to stop, it's got to be Keith Gary. The Hurricanes lost 7 offensive starters last year, all their skilled players except Walsh, and Gary, the fullback, has been the most productive in the first ballgame.
This is Conley, and he's snowed under as he punches his head in over the left tackle. Brought down in a hurry. I asked Jimmy Johnson yesterday how it was that he planned to attack Michigan early in the game.
We can't always predict what the defense is going to play. I'm sure that Michigan's going to play a different style of defense from what they did a week ago against Notre Dame with our passing attack. So we really have to wait until the game starts, and then we put a lot of responsibility on the quarterback in that he can read the defensive coverages and he can audibilize and he can put us in the right play right there at the line of scrimmage.
Steve Walsh throwing to the sidelines, intended for Dale Dawkins, the same kind of a play that he had picked up a first down on in his first possession. That time he missed him by a foot or so. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Miami in 3rd down conversions on the season, a highly respectable 48%.
I think what Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator for the Wolverines, is looking for now is something to one of the 2 backs or the tight end. Last week, Miami's 2 weeks ago, Miami started out throwing to the backs and tight end. He's forcing him to throw it to the wide receivers.
Walsh has good protection, goes down the middle to the big guy from Toledo, Rob Chizinski. And the big sophomore pulls it in at midfield, and Miami has a first down.
You see, he caught 5 passes against Florida State. And as I mentioned, the 2 backs and the tight end were big players. Chizinski, the tight end. The wide receivers, Keith, are good, but they're new. The Hurricanes lost their top 3 wide receivers to graduation.
From midfield on first down, Walsh hands the ball inside Gary. He and Conley wound up in the same hole at about the same time. And Cleveland is lucky to get anything out of it. He's 6'2", 225. He went originally to the University of Georgia and this thing didn't work out for him up there. So he went back home to Florida, wound up playing at Miami. His hometown is Indiantown, Florida.
Well, he wanted to be the next Herschel Walker up there at Georgia, didn't he?
Yep. Didn't work out. Second down, 7. I'll tell you one thing, they are really looking for Conley, aren't they? Brett White was all over him. Conley is only a 170-pounder, but he's got dynamite quickness. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. 8:17 to go in the first quarter of play. Michigan leading 3-0 on a 22-yard field goal after they were down inside the 5 on third and short. Couldn't get their first down, so they went for the point instead of gambling. Steve Walsh throws quickly. Gary pulls it in. Cleveland Gary shakes 2 tacklers and breaks it down the sidelines and will score a touchdown. No flag. David Arnold, 49 yards.
Well, they had a safety blitz on. Here's the safety right here. They're trying to get some pressure on Walsh. Here's Gary. He's going to sneak out into the backfield. He's going to get him the ball, sneak out downfield. Watch the safety blitzes. Man breaks to the outside. There's a little confusion in the secondary. Gary breaks 2 tackles. I told you a little earlier that he is the main man so far. He puts it in the end zone.
Carlos Huerta for the extra point. The holder is Kirk Sandifer. The kick is good at 7 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the first quarter. And for the big crowd at Michigan Stadium, Miami takes the lead 7-3. Well, if you believe in your quarterback and trust his judgment ability, you give him the responsibilities, and I think that time it really paid off as Steve Walsh spotted that blitz coming and unloaded it and wound up with a touchdown on the fine run by Cleveland Gary. Walsh seldom throws an interception, and he seldom gets caught eating the ball. Here's the kickoff by Edgar Pennis, way back in the end zone. Strong leg, a junior out of Miami Beach, and there will be no return as Colasar accepts the ball 7 yards into the end zone. Goodyear Plymouth floating overhead. Weather clearing up now. Some of the residue, I think, from that wicked hurricane drifting up into this part of the country. But it's clearing up steadily as the day goes on. Now Michael Taylor. He came out throwing in the first possession and almost got it up too. Turns around and gives it to Bowles, who pops it over the left side. Bowles is a very quick running back down the sideline. He is caught from behind and pulled down by Kenny Berry. Otherwise, he might still be running.
Talked about the big, huge offensive line. This is the type of ball they'd like to play straight at Miami. Miami has got quickness. Now, Crum 49 has position. He has the outside position. Should have made the tackle. Bowles breaks the tackle for a first down.
Moves it out to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 16 yards. 7:42 to go, first quarter. 7-3, Miami. Taylor, pass to the sidelines is good. Chris Callaway caught that one, but he was made to pay for it by the strong safety, Bobby Hart, and there is a penalty flag. Flag on the field. Mike, let's check in with him. Mike Adderley.
Keith, we talked about the emotion of Michigan, but emotion can only last so long. Miami, by contrast, even after the Wolverines kicked that field goal to make it 3-0, poised, cool, calm, and collected, and as Bob Greasy knows by visiting with the Hurricanes yesterday in the practice field, no question about their cockiness, if you want to call it that. They're a very cool team.
Downfield against the offense. First down.
So the Michigan offense, which made one mistake after another last week in the opening loss to Notre Dame, come out here and make another mistake to wipe out a gain of about 6 yards. It'll move it back to first down and 15.
We did see the Hurricane practice yesterday, and I don't know if I would say they were cocky. They were certainly very confident, and I think that's the way you have to be when you win 19 straight road games.
On a little delay to Bowles. Bowles got the block at the line of scrimmage, fumbles the ball on the tackle by Shannon, but the ball bounces out of bounds, and Michigan will retain possession, and there's a gain up to about the 35. Indiana is the only Big Ten team that's been having a whole lot of success so far in the season. They're bidding for their second straight win. Ohio State, of course,
you see my Boilermakers there? They were winning 13-0. You didn't even notice that.
I saw it.
I always say something when Washington
I
State's
figured you would.
doing good.
You can brag on them better than I can. Second down, 11 for Michigan. Taylor chased out of the pocket. The one thing about Miami's pursuit, it is always there, and those people who play in the down position, like Greg Mark in particular, can pursue from that down position. You wouldn't think a big guy is 6'4", 240 could wheel and deal in traffic as well as he does, but he's something special to watch. Russell Maryland, the other tackle, weighs 270. Bill Hawkins, the defensive end, at 6'6" and 260, and Willis McGee is 6'4", 245, so they're all big and tall. It's third down and a long 6. Taylor's pass is caught by the tight end, Derek Walker. First down, Michigan. Bernard Clark almost knocked it out of there.
With each pass that Taylor completes, he gets more confidence. The last time, he gave up too soon. This time he stays with it, throws it the only place he could. Good coverage by Clark. Number 57, as you watch the tight end. Not a great route, maybe a little bit of a push-off. Clark thought he was probably in pretty good shape, but big completion and keep the drive going for Michigan.
Michael threw him a knuckleball, but he reeled it in. First down at the Miami 49. Taylor dropping back, hands to Bowles, and Tony Bowles is going to be ridden down just inside the 47-yard line, and leading the tacklers was Randy Shannon again. Randy is a senior out of Miami.
Three fifth-year seniors in that Michigan offensive line, and like I said, they are big and strong. They like to play a power game. They want to run right at Miami. They can't run wide too often because Bo Schembechler said yesterday it's the fastest defensive team he's seen.
Bowles again. A yard, maybe a yard and a half. Again, Al Trautwig.
Keith, the Boston Red Sox lead the Yankees by 5.5 games in the American League East. Dwight Evans led off the bottom of the 8th with a solo home run to give the Sox a 2-1 lead. Bruce Hurst strikes out 9 and only gives up 3 hits.
Big win for the Bo Sox. It is third down and 6. Bowles has 7 carries, good for 37 yards in the game. And now a little different offensive alignment for the Wolverines. They do have some option stuff in their offense. Taylor's chased out of there. He's got room. Michael Taylor to the 32 and a first down. Sometimes, Bob, your pursuit will get you in trouble.
This is a defense that they can't block. Count them up here. You've got 8 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can't block that many if you're an offensive team. Taylor should have checked off. Penetration gets in. Now there's man coverage in the secondary. There's nobody left to cover the quarterback, and Taylor gets out of there. This is what improvising will do for you, the speed of the quarterback.
And so the Wolverines have a first down. They go back to Tony Bowles into the middle. Bowles will pick up a yard or so. Stop just short of the 30, and here is a penalty flag thrown by the referee, Jim Kimmerling, as he runs into the secondary. Number 49, I guess it is, Crum, got tangled up in the secondary with one of the Michigan receivers. And it's a personal foul, and it's called against the Wolverines and called against Miami. So it's offsetting personal fouls there.
The defense that we just saw on the blitz by Jimmy Johnson's Hurricanes, it's something they used about 8 times against Florida State. It's the old 46 defense, or the Chicago Bear defense they made popular a few years ago. It's a defense that Johnson likes to use when a team is moving downfield on it. It's a blitz. You can't pick it up. Against Florida State, they got 2 sacks and 2 interceptions off about 8 times they used it. It'd be interesting to see again if they use it in the next 3 or 4 plays if Michigan continues the drive.
Second down and 8. Taylor with a deep drop goes into the end zone for McMurtry. McMurtry gets tangled up and falls down. He was running with Bubba McDowell. And no foul. McDowell was playing the ball, had his back to the receiver. McMurtry had him well covered, and the fact that McMurtry falls down is his problem.
Well, they're both looking back for the ball. The only thing you might say is that maybe McDowell ran into him when he's looking back, but there's no way you can call that. You know, in fact, I would say it's a good no call by the official on the scene.
Colasar is out. Callaway is in for Michigan. Third down and 8. The ball just short of the Miami 30 at 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Taylor swings it out to the sidelines to Bowles, and Bowles makes the catch all right, trying to set up a screen for him. But there was good coverage by Miami. 94 Mark is out there in pursuit of the play, along with Maurice Crum and Shane Curry. Curry was the guy that was putting the heat on Taylor, but he still got his pass away. Now, Gillette is into the ball game. And he's going to try a field goal, and it's going to be a big one. Where's the wind? What wind there is will be behind his back. 46 yards. Up leg, but he missed it. He had plenty on it, but he couldn't hook it back into the upright. 3 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the first quarter. That's the Law Squad at the University of Michigan. Mostly blue sky now over southeastern Michigan, as the Wolverines, the home team, before more than 100,000 for an 80th consecutive time, are down in this ball game with 3:49 to go in the first quarter. By a score of 7-3. Having missed that field goal try for 46 yards, Miami gets it back, first down at their own 29. And walks straight back to throw it. Steve pumps it up in the air, loops it for Dawkins, and it is overthrown. Dawkins being covered by David Arnold.
They're wide open. They always like to be. They move it around, and here is the reason. The offensive coordinator in the middle, Gary Stevens. He's had some pretty good quarterbacks that he's developed at Miami. Kelly, then Kozar, Testaverde, and Kozar actually came the same year. And then Walsh. Personal foul against Eric. There's a look at Gary Stevens, the offensive coordinator. You know, he came to Miami in 1980 when Howard Schnellenberger was there. Schnellenberger left in 83 and Jimmy Johnson came. Stevens stayed on as the offensive coordinator, and the quarterbacks kept coming. Jimmy Johnson really handles most of the defense, doesn't get involved much with the offense. And he does a nice job with it.
That personal foul against the Hurricanes moves them back inside their 15-yard line. dead ball foul, so it'll be second down and 25. Give it to Cleveland Gary, and he is put on his back. And the guy that did it is Mark Messner, number 60.
Well, Messner is the all-time sack leader, career-wise, for Michigan. Takes an inside charge. And when I asked Gary Stevens about Messner, he just kind of looked at me and winked, and he said, he is relentless. He never gives up. He's really a little bit undersized, only 6'3" and 245 to play that defensive line.
Also on the play, back inside the 12. Steve Walsh will put it up, goes the sideline, and the pass is caught out of bounds. Incomplete by Randall Hill. He left his feet inbounds, but came down out of bounds, and now Miami is going to have to punt it. And it'll be Tim Palau, who in his own way is quite a story. Palau, junior college transfer from Longview, Washington. He came from Wenatchee, J.C. That's about as far as you can travel.
Cross country, he get a lot of frequent flyer miles on that trip.
Jimmy started shopping around the country because he didn't have a punter, and he found him in the ball game against Florida State. He nailed one for 59 yards under pressure. He didn't get all of this one. Callaway comes up, makes the catch at the 46, and takes it back to the 40. Inside the 40, 33-yard punt, 6-yard return, and the Wolverines have possession on the Miami side of the field. 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the Wolverines trailing by 4, but threatening again. Yep, every flag, every slogan, every piece of color known to mankind can be found amongst this big crowd here. Michigan owning the football just inside the Miami 40. Miami leading in the ball game 7-3. There is another rules change this year that hasn't become obvious as yet, but you can this year call consecutive timeouts. You can call 3 in a row if you have 3 to call. I would imagine one of these days, in one of the traditionals down toward the end of the calendar, we'll probably see it. Right now, the Wolverines trying to get some consistency in their offense. Huzar and Strepanak are 285 and 320 respectively across the front. But the guards have not been productive so far for Michigan. What's the reverse? There it is. Bowles has got it. Block on the corner. He's got a man from to beat. He gets a block there. A whole lot of running, a whole lot of yelling, and no gain. Well, Bo Schembechler, in talking to him yesterday, I asked Bo how he had gone about his week of practice, and I got this kind of an answer.
We had an excellent Tuesday. We had a rather ragged one on Wednesday, and I've been mad ever since. So if that means anything, we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what, the defensive folks have been playing like they're mad, too. Second down and about 10. Taylor will throw it. Has a man, McMurtry, and he's got a first down at the Miami 26. Greg McMurtry is a junior from Brockton, Massachusetts, and he was one of the most highly recruited high school players, athletes. He also had a chance to, I guess he was a Boston Red Sox, all over him.
Six-figure bonus out of high school, but he wanted to come to play for Bo Schembechler at the University of Michigan. Michigan has speed on the outside. We've talked about how big and powerful their inside interior linemen are, but they got speed on the outside with Callaway and McMurtry.
And Bolasar. Bolasar may be the fastest of the bunch. On first down, double wide, bottom of the picture. Taylor gives it off to the running back, Tony Bowles. Bowles down inside the 24 for a pickup of a couple of yards on the carry. Greg Mark leading the tacklers with Bill Hawkins for Miami. Tony Bowles. Jamie Morris, of course, gone, having graduated.
And with him, he took 40% of this offense, Keith, rushing and passing. He amounted for 40% of it.
They're showing what amounts to a 4-3. That corner coming up, and it's Bowles cutting it back into the middle to about the 20-yard line. And he'll be looking at 3rd down and 4 as Bill Hawkins makes the tackle on Bowles.
Miami defense, 9 of the 11 players on defense were either defensive backs or linebackers. 2 outside linebackers, Shannon and Crum, were both defensive backs in high school that are converted to linebackers now. And 2 of their tackles, Mark and Pegues, were linebackers and now playing defensive linemen. So 9 of the 11 can really run.
3rd down and a long 4 for Michigan as Taylor drops to throw it, and that takes off. Bounces off one of his own men and will go down at least a yard short of the 1st down as Randy Shannon sought him out, and with help from his linebacking pals Clark and Crum, get him. And Shannon now has to leave the ball game shaken up and being assisted from the field. There he goes.
Miami already has 1 linebacker out, and that's Rod Carter, their preseason All-American. Shannon is their converted defensive back. As I mentioned, you take a look at him, but he's the instinctive player, the smart one, the leader on the outside.
Mike Gillette is in for a field goal try. He missed wide right for 46. This is from 34. And he missed that one. So Mike Gillette, the place kicker for Michigan, is 0 for 2. From 46, 1 for 3. 46, 34, he's missed, and hit one from 22 to open the scoring. And only 6 seconds remain in the 1st quarter. Here's Mike Adamle.
Keith, Randy Shannon appears to have a mild ankle sprain. He's about to have his, as you can see, his right ankle retaped, and he should be back in the ball game, no problem.
All right, and Miami gets the ball at their own 20 for 1 snap to end the 1st period of play. So Gillette now, his confidence shaken a bit, having missed 2 in a row.
Big kick last week to end the game, the last play of the game against Notre Dame. He's the career all-time leading field goal kicker here at Michigan.
On 1st down, Walsh back to throw it. Has a lot of time and dumps it off to Leonard Conley out of the backfield, and Conley's up around the 27-yard line for a pickup of 7 yards on the play, and that will end the 1st quarter. So, number 1 ranked Miami leading the Michigan Wolverines, ranked number 16 in the country by a score of 7-3 after 1. The press area at Michigan Stadium. Picture coming from the Goodyear Blimp Enterprise out of Pompano Beach, Florida. Joel Chamberlain is the captain and pilot. He's from Norwood, Mass. And they are openly rooting for the Miami Hurricanes, because 3 of those members of that Goodyear crew are from Miami. And this is Leonard Conley, caught behind the line of scrimmage and run down by Alex Marshall, the 2nd solo of the ball game for the outside linebacker. Here's Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith, tomorrow in the pro circuit on the professional football field, the Lions will play the Saints, and starting at free safety for the Lions, their number 1 pick, and former Hurricane All-American Benny Blaze. Benny, good to see you on the sidelines. Are you enjoying it, and how do you think the defense is playing this afternoon?
Well, I tell you what, so far I'm enjoying the game, and I tell you, the defense is playing with much more enthusiasm than I would expect. You know, because they got a bunch of young guys who've never played in front of this many people. You know, they're rising to the challenge. They're not giving them the points that they need to win the ball game.
Good to see you, Benny. Thanks for joining us, and good luck, Hurricanes, huh?
Okay, thank you.
The pass a little too high for Randall Hill. Off his fingertips on 3rd down and 4, and that'll bring in the kicking team. Tim Palau, who had a 33-yarder his first try. I was going to say a while ago, Mickey Whitman is part of that Goodyear crew that travels about the country with the Goodyear Blimp. Mickey, of course, was an outstanding basketball player at the University of Miami, and he was so high yesterday his feet weren't even hit the ground. Good snap to Kalau, no pressure on him. Spins it out this time, forcing a fair catch ball by Chris Callaway. And the ball never did turn over. It didn't go all that far, and Callaway had to make a final lunge to bring it in. 34-yard punt.
look at the first quarter statistics, Miami is behind in total offense, 115 to 95. Time of possession big for Michigan. Something that's not on there is where they have started their drives. This will be the third time, for the second time actually, that Michigan has started inside the Miami 50-yard line, and now they start on their own 41. Very good field position. Miami's starting drives, all four have been inside their own 30, so Michigan has had the best of it, but has yet to score a touchdown.
And those are missed opportunities, Bob.
No question about that, and those are what you look back on after the game and say we should have converted.
Michael Taylor, the quarterback, gives to Tony Bowles. Bowles spins it in the middle, comes to the 46, and that's a pickup of right at 5 yards before Jimmy Jones out of Okeechobee. He is a defensive tackle, a starter a year ago. You don't lose much when you got to go to a guy like Jimmy Jones.
An outstanding player. You know, Johnson was telling me the other day that they're going to lose a few off of this defense, but they may be better next year.
Second down and 5 for Michigan. Callaway in motion. They're running it. Penalty flag. Flag came flying right toward the line of scrimmage. Look out for holding. Referee's a Big Ten man.
Second down.
Umpires Don Thayer, also Big Ten. Head linesman Jim Mullendore. Jimmy Brashear, the line judge. Field judge is Michael Sheehan. Side judge Bobby Menard. And the back judge is Gerald Hodges. Cannon is back into the ballgame now. Second down and 15 for the Wolverines. They stay with the ground game. Bowles bouncing off people, comes back to the 44. Just getting underway in the second quarter of play, with Miami leading 7-3. Arizona's tightened things up a bit out there in Oklahoma country. Washington is playing Army out in Seattle. And Iowa has come back to lead Colorado. At one time, Colorado had them down 14-0 in Indiana, beating Kentucky. Wildcats had a scare yesterday on their way to the ball game at Indiana. Their bus was involved in an accident. A couple of people got killed in the car wreck. None of the Kentucky party injured on the play, or injured on the accident. On this play, it is Taylor dumping the ball to his tight end, Walker. Walker got into the secondary and kept working when he saw his quarterback scrambling and made himself available, and he's a big target at 245 pounds.
This is when Taylor becomes dangerous, when he steps out of the pocket and doesn't run, but forces the defense to come to him. Then he can dump it to his tight ends or his wide receivers downfield.
Number 75 there is Vic Strepanak, 320 pounds, a sophomore from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. He gave me a tumble last year when as a freshman he showed up. He's only 18 now, but he was born in 1970. This is Bowles to the outside. Puts his head down and gets the first down. He ran right over Kenny Murray. That'll get him a pat on the back with Bo Schembechler. I'll guarantee you, when you put your shoulder into a defender and right over the top of him, that's Schembechler football.
Here's Bowles here. Watches a linebacker goes with the play action. He's going to come back this way. A key block right here by the tight end. A huge hole because he starts to our left and breaks back, and with the quickness and speed of Bowles, he got through the line.
First down at the Miami 32. Bowles again. And he's down to the 26 for a pickup of right at 5.5 yards. Bernard Clark, number 57, made the tackle. Well, they're working Tony Bowles, Tracy Williams, the other tailback, and Chris Horn behind him. And Bowles now has 73 yards with 11:20 to go in the first half.
Kind of reminds you of the days of Jamie Morris, doesn't it? I mean, the coach calling the plays on the sideline is the same. Bowles calls all the plays, and this is his style of game. He wants to control the line of scrimmage on the ground, eat up the clock.
This will stop him. Michigan procedure call. Another little mistake, but still it's 5 yards. And it can sap your momentum.
I have a dead ball. Illegal procedure against the offense. First down.
The Honda Scholar Athlete of the Week, presented by Honda. And this week's award goes to Chuck Hartlieb, a senior quarterback, University of Iowa. He had 253 yards passing in their win over Kansas State. Honda presents a check for $2,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the University of Iowa in Chuck Hartlieb's name. Make it second down, and right at 10, pass is short to Kolesar. Couldn't scoop it out to the turf. Dangerous pass, too, because John was pretty well covered by Maurice Crum.
Well, that's why the throw was low, because Taylor saw the coverage and didn't want an interception and threw it away from Crum. Crum just dropped straight back, just covering anybody that gets into his area. And as you see, Ellis, 29, was just to the outside, and that's why Taylor threw it in the ground.
Third down and still about 10. Bowles is out now, and Michigan will go to 3 wideouts. Bunch, the fullback, stays in. Michigan 4 out of 7 on third down conversions. Taylor back to throw, gets some heat. Gets it off down the middle. Tight end is good. And Garrett Walker has a first down. Inside the 15.
As the Hurricanes can do it. The middle of your screen is the tight end. This is not the Taylor that played against Notre Dame and didn't throw very well last Saturday. He's playing very well today.
Throwing for 73 yards and 5 first downs. Run for 32. Ball is on the 12. Bowles is back in.
Here they come.
Bowles gets a yard. Maybe. See that big 94 there at number 67. Those are the tackles, Maryland and Martin. To go in the first half. Miami leading 7-3. Michigan has had all the edge in the offense as far as field position is concerned.
And time of possession and number of plays. Their defense has shut down Miami except for that one play. The safety blitz where Walsh read it and hit Cleveland Gary for the touchdown. Michael Taylor has been impressive, running quarterback draws and then improvising on plays that were really passes downfield and dumping it off to his tight end here a couple of plays ago.
If you keep squandering opportunities, things can turn around on you. There's Sebastian. There's quite a few folks in here with the Miami Hurricanes. And the kind of record they've had over the last half dozen years, why not? Goodness. There's something, I don't know whether it has to do with the clock or not, but the referee has come to the sidelines and is now talking with the liaison man on the sidelines. You can see now it's a very pleasant, warm day, and I think it's probably got something to do with the clock. I think they want to restore some time to the clock. So they'll hold up things here for just a moment. Next week, we've got a regional coverage for you. LSU winning big today at Tennessee, starting a very tough 3 weeks of traveling. From Tennessee, they go to Ohio State at Columbus next week to play the Buckeyes. And we'll have that for some of you. And for the rest of you, we will have Oklahoma and Southern California. USC is off this week, having come back to win against Stanford. The clock did not move, they say, on the last play, so I don't see any change in it as yet. They're still trying to get it adjusted. But Oklahoma, Southern California for some of you, and LSU, Ohio State for the rest of you, next Saturday beginning at 3:30 Eastern Time here on ABC. Clock right now doesn't appear to be working, so if it's not, well, I guess they got it going now and roll off the 25 seconds. Didn't roll on the last one. So now they got it finally going. Second down. Call it 9. Ball just inside the Miami 12-yard line. Michael Taylor. And I don't think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He actually had his tight end, Walker, available in the end zone. He had broken 3. But there were 3 Hurricanes pounding at him, and Taylor just had no chance running for his life to see the tight end.
The Hurricanes, Keith, are too quick to delay anything wide. If you're going to get wide on the Hurricane, you got to get there quickly. Taylor that time didn't get out there fast enough. Jim Beckler realizes you can't run wide. He's had more success on delays and quarterback draws up the middle, or when Taylor scrambles around and throws a little delay pass.
So it's third down. The ball comes back to the 13. Bowles is out. Taylor into the end zone. No! Off the hand of John Colasar. John, the senior from Westlake, had beaten his man, but the pass was thrown just a little too high. Bobby Harden was out of the play, as you'll see here. John couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, Michigan gave one away. This free safety in the middle is over here. He should be back here normally. Colasar is just going to run a post pattern down the middle. Everybody's concerned about the right side. Well, you hate to lose those as a quarterback.
Gillette is now in for his 4th field goal try. He's 1 out of 3. And this one is good. So now he is 2 for 2, and he tightens it up a bit to 7-6 at 9:59 to play in the first half. Crowd of more than 100,000 at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. They got 9:45 to play. Still having trouble with the stadium clock, so to ignore it because it's going to be kept down on the field. Michigan getting the field goal to make it a 7-6 ball game. We'll kick it off now. Gillette kicking to Randall Hill and Darrell Spencer. Michigan has dominated possession, plays, yardage, not the scoreboard. Knuckleball down the middle. Oh, Randall Hill has to go all the way back to his 3. He didn't go down without a fight, did he?
Sure didn't. He had a chance, too, when he went back to the right side. If he could have gotten by one more man, there were no black jerseys left. A mistake to let this ball hit the ground so many times. It's not round. You don't know what it's going to do. Hill has great speed. Now, there's nothing to his left. He sees that. Now, if he can get around this man right here, he's got some business. Sideline helps.
Miami's ball. They're on 13. Walsh will put it up. Intended for Dale Dawkins, incomplete. Pretty good coverage that time by Dave Arnold, senior from Warren, Ohio.
Both teams, Keith, have had the ball 4 times. As we take another look at the end of the play, good coverage right through his hands. Both teams having the ball 4 possessions. Miami has run 17 plays, Michigan 37. And I'm sure that's exactly the script that Bo would like to have written before this game started.
Walsh is now 1 of his last 5. Underneath. Crowell, Shannon Crowell, a sophomore out of Atlanta, gets it up to around the 21. That'll leave him a couple of yards short of the first down. So we're coming up here on a key play for Miami. Here's Mike.
Keith, every time number 4 for Miami goes back to pass Steve Walsh, there's a collective sigh up here in the stands. This is because this is the Walsh family. Mother Molly, Father Bill, son Chris back there. They made the trip from St. Paul, Minneapolis. The question is, how'd Steve wind up in hurricane land?
There it is again. The academics is great for him. International finance, following the quarterbacks in the country, Colzar, Testaverde. We're going to go short here. We're going to go short here.
Have you sent any plays into the offensive coordinator yet?
No, not yet. I don't think I could, but they're just holding them back on their game. We just got to go short.
Okay. Enjoy the game. All right. Thanks for joining us.
I have a dead ball. Illegal procedure against the offense. Third down.
See, Michigan didn't have an option there. It was a dead ball call before the ball was snapped, and so it's an automatic penalty. Otherwise, Michigan would surely have declined it and brought up fourth down.
Walsh said he always wanted to play in Michigan Stadium. He grew up in Minnesota. None of the Big Ten teams recruited him. He was thankful that Miami was interested, and they are too.
Third down and about 7. 6.5. Walsh again underneath. Gary, the fullback, out of the backfield. Very, very good pass receiver. He gets up to the 29, and he's got a first down between Welburn and Arnold.
Third and 7 and 8 yards. Watch these two receivers. The tight end's going to come and break to the outside. The trail man is the one he wants. He's going to hit him inside for the first down. Well-designed play. You stack two. You got one linebacker there. You read which one he covers and goes to the other one.
First down for the Hurricanes. Gary. Cleveland Gary across the 40 and another Miami first down. Just over the 40 and a first down for the Hurricanes. That was the longest running play of the game. In fact, that play was 12 yards, and all of their running efforts prior to that had netted only 11 yards, and Gary this time is buried. There was a penalty flag thrown by the referee Kimmerling some time ago, and we'll see about that call, and it's almost inevitably against the offense. Making mistakes here in the first half, but they still lead 7-6 with 8 minutes approximately left to play.
Well, I'm sure before the game, Jimmy Johnson didn't say that this was going to be a piece of cake. Let's get the call here from. We have a hold on the offense, declined, second down. I'm sure Johnson said that we're on the road. It's going to be tough. Things are going to go against us. Let's don't lose our composure. Things are going to go against you when you're on the road, and usually do when you motivate your players and get them ready to play as he does. 19 straight on the road, it's got to be something right.
There's a loss of about 5 yards on that play with Gary, so they declined the penalty. Rolls it over to second down at about 15. Walsh all day dumps it off to Cleveland Gary, who outruns number 30, then gets caught on the sidelines. John Milligan just simply could not run him down. But he is still well short of his first down, so they'll be looking at third and about 7. Both teams a little ragged offensively. Defense, on the other hand, has been pretty good both sides.
I think it's the defense that's causing it to.
Good beat. Messner comes blasting through on Walsh. Pass complete to Gary. Run down at the 45 by Arnold and Welburn, and it'll be fourth down Miami. Messner came sailing through and just buried Steve Walsh just as he released the ball.
the first blitz of the game for Michigan. Michigan's defensively normally a very conservative, 3 deep, don't give him any play style of defense. That time they blitzed him, didn't give him the time, and they got the incompletion.
Chris Galloway is standing all the way back at the 10. They've got 10 blue shirts up. They fake it. And it's good for a first down with Doyle Aaron, a wide receiver. And he races way deep into Michigan territory all the way to the Wolverine 21. Doyle Aaron, a wide receiver, out on the kicking team, took the short snap inside and took off of 34 yards.
Well, Johnson said that if I get pretty good field position on a punt, I may do this. He worked on this during the week. The snap to the short man right here. The 2 up men are going to lead this way. A well-designed play and a well-called play. It takes a little guts to call this play, but a timing play, and it was a good play for the Hurricanes.
And off first down, they turn and give it to Shannon Crowell. And Crowell will pick up a couple. 195 pounds, stocky fellow, 5'11", and there's a penalty flag. Alex Marshall may be the man dinged right here. Got a little carried away. That's a big penalty. If it's personal foul, it is a very big penalty.
Have a dead ball, personal foul, kicking on a first down.
Oh, boy. So that really hurts Michigan. Quickly, Al Trautwig.
Chief, bad news for the Oklahoma Sooners. You know they've been using Jamel Holloway and Charles Thompson rotating at quarterback. Just moments ago, Thompson gets a hit from Darrell Lewis. Pain in the lower back. He's been taken to the hospital, and so the Sooners are left with Jamel Holloway leading by 11 over Arizona in the 3rd.
Carrying is Shannon Crowell here at Michigan Stadium for Miami, and he sails to about the 5-yard line. Miami trying to get that second touchdown in the closing minutes of the first half. Michigan has had all kinds of opportunities, including 2 missed field goals. The edge in time of possession, number of plays, field position.
Miami has not had the best of anything. They had 1 long pass for a touchdown, a fake punt, got them in this position to score their second touchdown. Of course, that's when you know you're a good ball club, is when you make the most of the opportunities that are presented to you.
It's second down. Ball is at the 5 of Michigan. About 4 minutes to play. The clocks are wrong. That is not correct. Second down and goal. Crowell. No. He's tough. He got away from J.J. Grant and had just enough room to get 1 more lunge, and it carried him just short of the 1. So it is 3rd down.
It's amazing what the Hurricanes have done. I mentioned earlier they lost all of their skilled position players, 3 wide receivers, their 2 starting tight ends from last year, and their 2 running backs.
Trouble tight end alignment now as Bethel comes in. Walsh wants to talk about. He does not want to let this opportunity slip away.
This is
come to Ann Arbor to play Michigan. After wins over Auburn and Florida, the Hurricanes ranked #1 of the nation, but 5 interceptions of Bernie Kosar produced a 22-14 Michigan win. The last time Miami has lost a regular season game on the road. 3:41 to play in the first half of this game, and you know for a fact that Jimmy Johnson did not let this group of Hurricanes forget. The last time they lost a ball game on the road during the regular season was right here. And when they lost that one, they were #1.
covering 86 yards. And the key play in the drive, of course, was the fake punt that got him down into Michigan territory.
Cleveland Gary is the deep man. Tracy Waiters is the up man out of the eye. Goes to Gary on the dive. Touchdown, Miami.
Watch the surge of the offensive line. Michigan goes low, and Miami's backs go high. Whenever you line up in the I formation on the goal line, that's the first thing you think about, the tailback over the top, and Gary got it done.
Tracy Waiters did a pretty good job right in front of him, too. He went just as high. All right, the extra point try by Huerta. And we're right at 3 minutes. Play in the first half, and Miami leads 14-6. That's the Huron going gently through Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. Now trail by 8. Ball placed on the 35 after the score by that man, Cleveland Gary. Edgar Bennis will kick it off. Gary now totaling 71 yards in receiving and a touchdown, and 20 yards in running and a touchdown. He's been very much a part of the Miami offense. That is a high, high hanger, and it is Tony Bowles. And he's out of bounds to kill the clock up at the 37-yard line. Bubba McDowell ran him out. Prudential halftime report, scores and highlights. Games being played around the country. You heard a moment ago from Al Troutwick about the bad news for the Oklahoma Sooners. Let's pause 5 seconds so our stations can identify themselves.
WAAY-TV, Huntsville.
Looking down from the Goodyear Blimp Enterprise. And Michigan now with time running out in the first half of play. I don't know exactly how much because it's being kept on the field. 37-yard line. Michael Taylor, a little delay, gets a good block to help him out. Throws underneath, and the pass is incomplete. Callaway was the man for whom the pass was intended. He and Jared Bunch were in the same area. And you see Michael took a lick after he delivered the ball.
There was just good coverage downfield. Nobody for Taylor to throw the ball to. You got to be pleased offensively with the way Michigan has moved the ball, but not with the result. They've had 4 opportunities. They've missed 2 field goals and kicked 2 on their other 2 possessions, and so they're 2 out of 4 on possessions. They've gotten close enough to try field goals each time.
Second down and 10. Throw it underneath the screen for Bowles. Tony Bowles to the sidelines, stepping nicely, and will stop the clock as he is tumbled down at the 46 on the Miami side of the field. Donald Ellis brought him down. Bill Hawkins is not in there right now. Mike, tell us about it.
Well, Keith, their standout defensive end, Bill Hawkins, suffered a mild concussion. I talked to the team doctor. Billy's still not sure where he is right now. They're going to see how it goes. They've taken him into the locker room for the rest of this half, and they're going to see how his condition is for the second half. But the word is a mild concussion.
Oh!
It's a big loss.
He won't be back if he didn't know where he was.
No, he won't be back. First down, Michigan. Little delay with Bowles and caught by Clark. Bernard Clark, number 57, doing the hunting in the middle from his middle linebacker position. That would be the position normally played by Rod Carter. Clark stepped in there when Carter got hurt. Crum stepped up into Clark's spot. And Rod Carter's going to have to play hard to find room when he comes back.
No question about that. There's a clock. It's not working, but Bowles outstanding so far in the first half. 17 carries, 79 yards.
Second down, right at 5. Well, Bowles dropped the ball, and it rolled right to the Miami man. Looked like just bounced right to it. I think it's Eric Miller. I'll wait and see. was a Miami man standing right there, and the ball bounced straight at him. Now it's 58. Pegues. Willis Pegues. But somehow he didn't get it. Watch this thing that goes right at him.
See what happened. Oh, just never got it.
No.
Taylor didn't get him the ball. Michigan lucky to get it back. Bo saying we don't need things like that. We don't need to stop ourselves. The defense is tough enough.
3rd down and 7. There's the loss of a couple on there. Taylor loops it for Colasar. Out of bounds, 17-yard line of Miami. I'll tell you what, if Colasar had another 2 yards of real estate, he'd have scored because there was nobody over there.
The defensive back on that side fell down. Another big play by Taylor. Makes a short drop. Both wide receivers were over there. You don't see the defensive back who fell down. That's why he wasn't ever anywhere close to Colasar.
I'll say one thing about Michael Taylor's passes. They may not be pretty, but they've been pretty efficient.
Tell me how they get there.
From the 17 on 1st down. Taylor up the middle. 10, 6. Right about the 5. Now they'll make it 6. That'll be another 1st down. 1st and goal for Michigan, and I can't tell you how much time is left at the moment because the visible clock to us is not working. And Taylor is down. He took a pretty good crunch, and he's down right now. And he's going to have to come out of the ball game. Once time is taken for an injured player, he's got to come out for one play. The first hit came from Bubba McDowell on him as he got down close to the 5-yard line, and McDowell nailed him and shook him up. And now he's got to come out.
Let's take a look at this quarterback draw again as Taylor comes to the sideline. Watch the tight end who's going to slip in here and get this block on Clark as the quarterback will go back and then come up the middle. This is the man right here, McDowell, who makes the hit. As he shows pass, tight end comes in, gets the big block on the middle linebacker. Wide open up the middle and right there.
Demetrius Brown is in at quarterback. He was the starting quarterback last year for Michigan. 6'1", 190, a senior from Miami, Florida. And Brown, the left-hander, is now in on 1st and goal from the 6 with 1 minute to play in the 1st half.
You think Demetrius isn't excited about getting an opportunity to play against the Hurricanes who grew up following?
Don't tell him where he is. He'll fly over the horizon here. They're going to go wishbone here with Bowles, Williams, and Horn. And Brown at quarterback. This 1st half of the ball game. Taylor's taken up, had to come out. Goes to Bowles to the 5 and just over it to the 4. Timeout called by the Wolverines. Jimmy Jones and Greg Mark brought him down. So we know we've got less than a minute to play. Michigan threatening to close in.
88 U.S. Olympic team.
Now we're told we have 1:07 to play. Michigan with 2 timeouts remaining. Demetrius Brown had gone in for Michael Taylor. Now let's see after this timeout if Taylor's come back. He's back. See, when the injured player, the time is taken for him, he must by rule come out of the game. But after that one play, he can go back, and here he is. So he shook off the effect of that collision. And he's in there on 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Stay in the wishbone. Taylor still got it. Throws in the end zone. Touchdown, Jeff Brown.
Wishbone looks like run. Now Taylor doesn't see, but to start with. Now he has to move around a little bit. Finds him in the end zone and hits him for the touchdown. Watch it from the defensive side. The linebackers, 48 is McDowell. Looks awfully good, almost like a run. Now Taylor can't see him. He has to move around a little bit. Very good.
Well, that tires up a defense about as much as you can possibly tie them up on the fake.
And you know, when you give an offensive team that much time on that timeout, they went to the sideline.
Yep.
They get time to settle in. Okay, where are we? What does the defense like to do? What have we got going? If we're going to pass, this is the down to pass. Not third down, but let's do it right now. Give them some time to come up with a good play.
Michigan has huddled on the sidelines with a timeout to talk about what is apparently going to be a two-point try. Now here comes your new rule. If Miami intercepted, recover it somehow, run it all the way the other way, they can score 2 points defensively.
Offensively, Michigan would like to score 2 to tie it up, but there's always that possibility this year with the rule change that the defense can score on a try for extra point.
We're told we have 57 seconds to play in the first half.
It's the first touchdown scored against the Hurricanes this year. Their first game, they shut out Florida State.
Well, it's the first touchdown since Oklahoma scored on their Fumblehuski in the Orange Bowl game. And they are going for 2. They've got trips right. 3 wide receivers to the lower part of your picture.
You got to look for some kind of a pick down here with 3 wide receivers to one side.
Picks are illegal.
Only if you make contact.
Taylor's getting backside pressure. Run down by Greg Mark. Oh, that kid's a heck of a player.
He is. He has to be undersized. He's 235 pounds playing defensive tackle. He used to be a linebacker. He just saved him 2 points.
He just flat whipped that offensive lineman. Who was it? He just went right around him.
That's the speed we talked about coming into the ball game. Speed and quickness. Johnson says I recruit speed and intelligence.
14-12 ball game.
We're not a company, but
ABC's College Football is brought to you by Michelob. Michelob is a proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team.
Well, you live down in that neighborhood, Bob. You know these people very well. You know how dangerous this Miami team is in this kind of a circumstance now. 57 seconds. They got 2 timeouts to work with. That's a low, skidding kick. They didn't handle the last one too well, but this one's picked off by Darrell Spencer with a full head of steam. To the 35-36 fumble. Michigan's got it. Well, so much for the danger of it. They cough it up.
Michigan may be dangerous in this situation. The big turnover gives them an opportunity. They've got great field position the entire ball game.
Leslie Fichtner's going to come out of there with it.
Spencer trying to make something happen right there at the end. What is that, J.J. Grant?
Well, Fichtner's the guy that got it.
Yeah, Fichtner.
So now it's Michigan's turn to be dangerous in the closing seconds. The Wolverines have 1 timeout remaining. Ball is just inside the Miami 35.
There's no question that Jimmy Johnson's crew has had the worst of it, and Schembechler's crew has had good field position all day long.
Michael Taylor, 3 wideouts. To the sideline. Callaway. Catch is good inside the Miami 22. I would say for a living fact that Michael Taylor is the Michigan quarterback.
There is no question that Taylor is keeping Michigan in this ball game with his running, with his quarterback draws. He's not turning the ball over, which is just as important as making plays. He's not giving Miami any momentum going the other way.
Gillette's pretty good from this distance, too, even though he has a couple of misses today. He's 2 for 2. Little shovel pass. That's an incomplete forward pass. Safest play in football.
That's a smart play, too. He had everybody spread out, 3 wide receivers, 1 back in the backfield. You half row, throw it forward, and if it's incomplete, it's just a forward pass. Trying to get it inside. That time, Jones, number 63, got penetration and spoiled what would have been a good play.
Chris Horn was the man for whom that little shovel pass was intended. He's a junior out of Huntsville, Alabama. So it's 2nd down and 10, just inside the Miami 22. And time just about gone. Michigan still with 1 timeout remaining. Taylor takes off to the sideline and goes out of bounds inside the 20 at the 18. It'll be 3rd down.
That young man's got to be tired. He and Tony Bowles. Bowles has gained a bunch of yardage on the ground, but Taylor is the guy that's really kept him in this first half.
Colasar comes in with a play, and we're told now we have 34 seconds to play in the first half. 3rd down and about 6. I don't know. Now I hear it's 22. His team kept down on the field. Taylor gets it off into the end zone. Colasar, touchdown! What a throw! What a catch! Catches a big touchdown. And the offensive front that time protected Taylor very well. Again, it's not a particularly pretty pass, but he threw it a long way, and he threw it right on the mark.
And he throws it away from trouble, away from the white jerseys, only where his man can catch the football.
And he gets to see it.
Played a whale of a first half. The hype coming into this ball game was all Miami offense and Steve Walsh. That man right there has had the opportunity and has put 18 points on the board, and they're going for 2.
18-14. He wants to make it 20. He went for 2 the last time and didn't get it. The other points for Michigan having come on 2 field goals by Gillette. Last time it was Greg Mark that looped around the tight end Brown and got it before he could deliver his pass. This time they give it away to the fullback. Chris Horn takes it in for the 2 points. So again, Michigan deceives Miami.
Michigan had gone for 2 points a little bit earlier. This is the same formation. Poor tackling by the Hurricanes. Michigan's offensive people had an opportunity to see what defense Miami would throw against this formation, and they came back to the same formation. 3 wide receivers over here. They give it to the man inside. Poor tackling, and he scores 2 points for Michigan.
So that fumble on the kickoff return by Darrell Spencer, and Michigan puts 8 points on the scoreboard as a direct result of it. To lead the ball game 20-14. Number number 1 team in the country, is trailing by 6.
Gary Stevens there on the left, the offensive coordinator, and Jimmy Johnson, the man that runs the show. Not the defensive coordinator, but a lot of his defensive ideas are there for Dave Longstead, the defensive coordinator. I'm sure they're talking about, hey, just 2 minutes ago we were ahead 14-6.
Gillette this time nails it. Runs them all the way back to near the goal line, where Spencer is going to be called down on the 2-yard line. You had Hill and Spencer back there, and he didn't handle it. And when he went down to pick it up, he put his knee on the ground, and they whistled it dead right there.
I'm sure Jimmy is saying, hey, just fall on the ball. Don't take a safety. Get us out of here. We'll go in and regroup. No communications between Spencer and Hill. There you see his knee is on the ground.
Clearly, Old Mo is wearing maize and blue right now, isn't he?
This is what can happen when you go on the road. I'm sure Johnson has been there before, and he'll bring him back out in the second half and get him ready to play.
Well, this team won't come apart. They won't panic. Walsh takes the snap, starts the clock, and Michigan with no timeouts remaining. They can't kill it now, and the clock should run out. And we'll go to the clubhouse at halftime. With the Wolverines of Michigan leading the Hurricanes of Miami by a score of 20-14. So they're roaring in Ann Arbor, Al, as we switch to our studios in New York.
So Michigan trying to...
Proudly in your heart.
And now Michigan deploys. The Wolverines will receive the kickoff from Edgar Bennis, because remember, Michigan won the toss and deferred acceptance of the kickoff to the second half. The Wolverines are leading 20-14. John Colasar and Tony Bowles are the deep men. Colasar 40, who caught the go-ahead touchdown for Michigan, and Bennis hits it. He gets it up well. Forces Bowles to wait at the 3. He's got a hole. To the 37. 34-yard kickoff return by Tony Bowles.
Here's a look at the Michigan possessions the first half. The right side of the screen results. They have not punted all day long. They've tried 4 field goals and then 2 touchdowns. On the left side where it says start, they started in Miami's into the field 3 times. Great field position for the Wolverines.
And again, they start with pretty good field position from their own 37. The lineup is basically the same that started the game. Michael Taylor at quarterback, Jared Bunch at fullback, Tony Bowles, the I-back or tailback, Callaway, McMurtry, wideouts, and Derek Walker, the tight end, with John Vitale over the ball at center. And it's Bowles searching around for a crack, and he found one. Gets it up to the 45, pickup of about 8 yards.
You just feel the confidence in Bowles and that Michigan offense now as they come back out. Take a look at Clark, 57. As he sidesteps the guard, Bowles cuts back to the inside. And a nice gain.
Walker comes out of the game at tight end for Michigan, and Jeff Brown replaces him. Brown caught one of the touchdown passes for Michigan in the first half. Second down at about 2. Fair-sized collision as Jared Bunch runs into Russell Maryland and will get maybe a yard on the carry. Not anymore. Maybe not that much. Give him a half a yard. Ball is resting right at the 46. So they need a yard and a half to pick up a first down on third down. Now they got the big people back out there. Walker, Brown. They'll go to the wishbone in short yardage. Miami jumps into the Bear defense as Taylor options down the line and turns back short of the first down. He'll be a yard short of the first down. Bobby Harden, man, it got him, number 39, the junior from Fort Lauderdale. I think that tells you something of the way Miami plays the defense. The strong safety came up and made the tackle on the line of scrimmage.
You know,
Mike Gillette will punt.
In a situation like this, I think the first possession of the second half is so important.
Yes, sir.
Both coaches have tried to fire their teams up, and now you come out. If you can get them to turn the ball over, if you can make first downs, it's a big possession.
Beautiful kick by Gillette. Angling it for the corner. Oh, he got it. They give it to him at the 1. What a spectacular punt. He went right over the marker, and I wasn't sure that he got Coffin corner, but he did. 52 yards.
Gillette was due for some good luck. He handled both the place kicking and the punting for Michigan. Missed 2 field goals today. Missed that field goal against Notre Dame last Saturday. Could have won it for him. An outstanding punt. See it again. Take a look at the right, top right. Goes right over the cone. Right behind the cone. That was a tough call.
Yeah, I thought he might have gone inside.
Yeah, tough call.
Oh, Miami really in a hole from their 1 first down. Walsh gives it to Cleveland Gary, and Cleveland become a very, very good back, both receiver and running back for Miami since he transferred from the University of Georgia and worked his way out to the 7th.
So look at Miami's possessions. They started in their own territory. In fact, they have not been outside their own 30-yard line, as opposed to where Michigan has started.
2nd down and 4 for the Hurricanes from their own 7. And Walsh will put it up to the sidelines to Gary. Gary fighting, gets the first down. So now they got a little breathing room out around the 14-yard line.
It's interesting. They backed up. The first series, they come out the second half. They're backed on their own 1-yard line. Who do they go to? They give it to Gary to get him out of the hole, and then they pass again to Gary. You know, Johnson was saying earlier this week that he thinks that Gary may have more potential than Highsmith, who was an outstanding fullback for the Dolphins, and also Melvin Bratton, 2 outstanding running backs they've had in the last few years.
Steve Walsh has now hit his last 5 passes going back into that first half. Wolverine flips. Gary goes down. Trip Welburn, the safety.
Watch Welburn. He's right here. He's a safety. Watch him get into the secondary. The backfield of the Hurricanes stuffs the blocking back and makes an outstanding hit. Last year at this time, he was a wide receiver.
Ball is just inside the 10. We're at 2nd down and 14. Walsh to put it up. Down the middle, it is good to Gary. Gary with a move, got 3 Wolverines tangled up and picked up an extra 5 yards with the juke.
It's beginning to be the Cleveland Gary show.
Well, he was wide open. The backer that should drop off and cover that intermediate zone was nowhere to be seen.
Gary is here. He's just going to go down, sneak across the middle, and he's going to get the ball right in between the linebackers. Watch him right between the dark shirts. Walsh delivers it to him, and some good running.
So it's first down Miami at their own 35. This possession started at their 1. Walsh throws, Dawkins catches, and picks up 9. Arnold brought him down. You know, Dale Dawkins is a pretty good sized receiver. He stands 6'1". He weighs 195 pounds. Junior from Vero Beach. And Walsh is now 7 of his last 7. I'll tell you, if they take it down the field and stick it in the end zone, old Mo is wearing white. He's throwing again. Big. Hill. No. They bumped deep downfield, but no call on it. I talked to Steve Walsh for a little while yesterday, and I asked him if he's really as unflappable as he's trying to make us all believe. He said,
well, you know, it's working so far, so I'll just keep on putting on that show. So, you know, I just take things as they go, and you know, being in this big stadium is going to be another challenge for me.
He's a good kid, Keith. A lot of people say he reminds everybody of Bernie Kosar. He doesn't have a strong arm, although he threw that ball quite far. He's a very intellectual quarterback, and that's the way Kosar was.
3rd and 1. Conley, 1st down. And then some. He's 170 pounds, but when there's a penalty flag, I think, thrown over there on the sidelines, I thought I saw a yellow flag go up in the crowd. But Conley, when he was in high school, was bench pressing 300 pounds, so he's a strong 170 pounder.
Well, they list him at 5'9", and I don't think that he's even that big. I think he's probably shorter than that.
I think it's a late hit.
I think Jimmy saw the late hit, and he's trying to help the official out. Yeah, right there, he says.
Big call, big mistake, resulting from overly enthusiastic pursuit, probably, but it certainly helps the Miami cause because it sends the Hurricanes to the Wolverine 28-yard line. 1st down. Michigan leading 20-14. Walsh continues to throw it. As a man, pass is caught by Chudzinski, the tight end. And he's got another Miami 1st down inside the 15.
Good play calling by offensive coordinator Gary Stevens. He's mixing it up, run some, throw some deep. This is actually a deep pass. He was looking to the wide receivers, but the Michigan zone was deep, so he goes to his outlet, Chudzinski, and gets it to him, and he picks up some positive yardage and a 1st down.
And he's from Toledo, down the road from Ann Arbor. 1st down from the 12. Walsh lofts it into the end zone just beyond the hands of Cleveland Gary with Trip Welburn covering him.
Take a look at number 60, Martin Messner. Never gives up. Fights off 2 players, gets in there and makes Walsh hurry the football. If I could have had 1 or 2 more seconds, I could have completed it. I don't know what he's thinking.
2nd down and 10. Dawkins intercepted on the ricochet by Vader Murray. And out of bounds at the 20. And the Miami center, Rod Holder, is down. That's the center, Rod Holder, junior out of Chicago.
Here's the receiver here. He's going to go downfield and cut to the inside. Now watch the safety. He's going to come over here and get the tip ball. This ball is just thrown a little bit too hard. Right in the receiver's hands. A little high, goes through it. It reminds me of some of the highlights that we've seen from the game 4 years ago, Keith, when the Miami Hurricanes were up here and lost that game the last time they lost here. A lot of tip balls for interceptions then, too. Dawkins, number 11, should have been caught. And Murray is right there to intercept.
That is the 1st interception of the season for Steve Walsh. Now Holder gets to his feet. Had his bell rung, I think, that's all. He'll have to go out and sit down for a while. If he's unable to come back, Bobby Garcia will move from guard over to center, and Darren Handy will move up into the right guard position. But you can see that Rod is walking a little gingerly as he leaves the field. And there's Beta Murray, whose good hands turned that one around. So Miami is turned away, and it's Michigan first down at the 20, leading 20-14. And this is Tony Bowles to about the 24. Randy Shannon and Willis Pegues on the tackle. It appears, Bob, that this fellow Bowles is a very durable fellow.
I'm very impressed with him. He's got some big shoes to fill. Jamie Morris, who is the all-time rushing leader for University of Michigan.
Ball just short of the 25, second down and 6. Bowles again. Out near the 27, Russell Maryland on the tackle. That game was played earlier today. Oklahoma beats Arizona. So that's the first of 2 successive matches for Oklahoma against Pac-10 teams. Next Saturday, they're in the Coliseum in Los Angeles against Southern California. And we'll have it for some of them. The rest of you will see LSU at Ohio State. Chris Horn now in the backfield with Bowles. And down goes Taylor as Russell Maryland beats the blocker and got the quarterback. And so that'll bring up a 4th down, and Michigan's going to have to punt it away. Mike Gillette's first punt today. 52-yarder out of bounds at the 1. He was been a catcher for the Michigan baseball team. In fact, he was the guy that caught Jimmy Abbott, who's over the Olympic team last 3 years. So his one punt today was 52 yards. Some pressure on him, and he didn't get all of it. But he does get a good roll on it. And Spencer lets it roll, and it goes down to the Miami 31-yard line. Bubba McDowell back to punch it down. 7.5 minutes to go. Michigan Media Hall of Fame, which hangs behind the press box, and among those on that wall, old friend of a lot of us, been here a long time, about as nice a fella as you could ever want to meet. His name, Will Ferry. This is the best starting position that Miami has had in a possession in the ball game, to give you some idea of how they've been climbing uphill. And Bobby Garcia is in to snap the ball at center. Rod Holder has not come back. From the 31, Walsh gives it to Cleveland Gary. And Gary is caught by T.J. Osman, the middle guard, number 94. He's a junior out of Pittsburgh, but he still gets something out of the play. Moves it up to the 35. Almost a 4-yard gain.
Gary took ballet classes this summer, Keith. It looks to me as though they may have helped. He's certainly moving light of foot around the field today, both catching the ball and running.
I think it helps with your balance, your sense of balance. I don't think there's any question about it. Would you believe I once did it back in the 40s? Uh-oh. Whistles on it. Hold it. Miami, procedure. Yeah, there's a lot of the media folk here. They're all sitting downstairs with air conditioned, eating chicken. We're sitting up here on the roof, paying $1 zillion.
No air conditioning up here, is there?
From the 30, back goes Walsh. Gets it off to the sidelines and incomplete. Walsh will throw it away. He won't give it to you. Leonard Conley was the intended receiver.
Take a look at number 84. That's Chizinski, the tight end, going straight down the middle of the field. He thinks he's open. sometimes when you throw the football to the left, everybody goes left and everybody comes open.
Third down and about 12 from the 30 for Miami. Michigan leads 20-14. Here's Gary, intercepted. The second ricochet for Veda Murray. Not Walsh's fault. That ball was touched in there as light as a feather, and Gary squeezed between Michigan defenders, just didn't look at home.
Not at all. Let's go ahead and run it. Gary is to the bottom left of the screen. He's going to go straight down the field. Tight end is right next to him. Watch Gary. He's going to come wide open. Ball is catchable. Another tip ball, another interception. Take another look at it from behind Milligan, the linebacker. Kaczynski, 84, draws the coverage. Gary's been catching every one that's thrown at him, not that one. Murray gets his second.
And Michigan has it first down at their own 46. This is Tony Bowles trying to bounce outside. And he does. Bowles good foot speed before Bobby Harden had the angle to get him out of bounds. And they have marked him out on the Miami side of midfield near the 47.
Tony Bowles over 100 yards. They have done much better running to their left than to their right. 111 yards to the left and about 30 yards running to the right.
Second down and 4. Bowles again. That won't get the first down. He'll be a yard short. What is it? The Washington Redskins counter gap play, and ever since they started having it's an old play. I mean, it's been around forever a day. It's a form of the old wingback counter, really.
They just pulled two linemen instead of one of the backs.
And you're seeing a lot of left-handed football teams running now.
Yep. It's good football play. You can't have any penetration on the side that you're running, but there's that running tendency left and right.
First down by Tracy Williams, a junior out of Sarasota, Florida. So there are Floridians on this Michigan team, and one of them just picked up a first down. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football next Monday. The Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. Colts won the Eastern Division Championship last year, while the Browns won the Central. And poor Marty Schottenheimer just having a terrible time keeping quarterbacks healthy. Don Strock just signed with him. Steve Slayton came back to him because Kozar down with a bad arm, and then Gary Danielson broken ankle.
Well, they got a good man in Strock. He'll do well for him. He's a smart quarterback.
Ball short of the 41. And Taylor back. Lets it fly. Good down the middle to Jeff Brown, the tight end. Down inside the Miami 20. Oh, that long march by Miami downfield, only to lose it on the ricochet interception. Seemed to have taken a little starch out of it.
Well designed. Here's Brown. He's going to bend to the outside and come down the middle. The man he's going to fool is Clark, number 57, in the center of your screen. The play action holds 57. He throws over his head, and Brown makes a nice catch.
Keeps his feet. He scores. First down, Michigan at the Miami 20. Goes to Bowles up the middle. And about 4 yards before Clark this time, junior out of Tampa, gets it. The Red Sox beat the Yankees 3-1 today. Big 4-game series. And the Bo Sox sitting on top of the bunch in the American League East. They're now 5.5. Down here, four Tigers. Sparky has run out of healthy people. And the Tigers are faded. Second down and 6. Bowles. Oh, what a hit. And the ball loose.
Yeah.
Miami is arguing for it. Won't get it. Kenny Berry, number 6, the quarterback, really came in and made a hit.
I think that ball was loose before he was down, Keith. Take another look at it. Let's go ahead and run it. Watch him come hit from the left side. Right there, that ball is loose.
Oh, sure, it's loose.
Yeah.
It looked like a Michigan man and might have covered it.
Yep.
Third down. Ball is at the 16. Taylor takes off. He's got a first down for Michigan at the Miami 7. A mobile quarterback in college football is worth his weight in gold.
He can make something out of nothing, even if he's not a great passer, and Taylor is not a great passer. He drops back, nothing is there. He gets upfield, picks up a first down, and continues the drive, keeps possession of the football.
And Bill Hawkins is back in the game, number 54, the big defensive end. First and goal, wishbone to Bowles, and he stopped at the 5. Bernard Clark, 57, got the principal hit. Here's Mike.
Keith, actually, defensive end Bill Hawkins has been on the field for all 3 of Michigan's offensive possessions. We told you that he had a mild concussion in the first half and was knocked out. The Miami trainers didn't want to put him back on the field unless it was absolutely necessary. They have, but he has not been the same player.
Well, I'm sure he'd be able to know his name and know where he is before they put him back out there.
I'd say so.
Yeah, they wouldn't take any chances.
Taylor in trouble. Randy Shannon, number 22, was the man who had penetrated and broken free, and Michael Taylor goes down back at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, that's too slow. You can't run anything that slow. Take a look right here. Here's Shannon. Now you got 3 backs in the backfield. He's going to fake to all of them, and by the time he gets out of that faking, Shannon, who comes through the opening gap, that's just, you can't run a quick, fast defense like Miami's. You can't run anything that slow, Keith.
Yeah, a lot of fiddling around when you're inside the 10. Huh?
Yeah, you got to quick stuff. You can't fool around down there because the defense is going to be coming.
It is now third down. And that's thrown away. McMurtry looked like he wanted to run a post and Callaway to the corner. And the pressure was so intense on Michael Taylor, he had to unload it in a hurry, and he just dumped it.
I have a feeling that that young man's going to sleep well tonight. He's been on the ground a lot. That time, didn't have much time to look around as the middle linebacker, Clark, was in on him, and he threw the ball away. Didn't make a big mistake and give his offense a chance to score 3 points.
All right, Gillette is in now. This is his 5th field goal try. He's 2 for 2. This is from 29 yards. And he drilled it. Got a strong leg. And Michigan builds its lead over Miami to 23-14. And the clock shows, if it is correct, 1:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. And right now, the big old bowl of Ann Arbor is humming because the home team is leading.
Do not play poker with Bobby Bowden of Florida State. 4th down, they fake the punt. And Leroy Butler, who took the snap, runs 78 yards with only just over a minute and a half to go in the game, down to the 2-yard line. Florida State kicks a field goal and goes on to beat Clemson in Death Valley.
Well, you don't get easy wins in Clemson's Death Valley. They got another one down in Baton Rouge, so you don't win easily either.
I'll tell you what,
Clemson Enterprise out of Pompano Beach. Captain Joel Chamberlain. Right now, there might be a little gloom in that bunch because they're all from Miami.
LSU has got a tough schedule, I want to tell you.
All right, Gillette will kick it off now to Spencer and Hill. That field goal by Gillette very big because now it forces Miami into 2 scores. They got to score twice. 20-14, they only had to score once to regain the lead. Now it'll take 2. Well, that hammers it. And Spencer gets away from it and lets Hill have it. And the Wolverines let Hill have it up around the 21-22. Time of possession, considerable margin toward Michigan, particularly from their dominance of possession and field position in the first half, and they lead by 9, 23-14. Miami goes to work just beyond the 21. Steve Walsh to throw. He's been intercepted in the last 2 possessions. That one was tipped, and Michigan had a shot at that one. Intended for Chudzinski, the tight end, and Walsh is shaking his head.
Miami has come out and moved the ball pretty well the first 2 series, but both ended up in interceptions off of tipped balls. Walsh with all kinds of time now. Probably his poorest throw of the day. That one should have been intercepted and wasn't.
Tried to force that one.
Oh, yeah.
Second and 10. Underneath to Gary. Gary is caught and wrestled down by David Key, who comes from, of all places, Columbus, Ohio, playing for Michigan. That's blasphemous.
Well, Jimmy Johnson hopes it's not deja vu. He was here once before in '84. They were the defending national champions. They were ranked 1, and Michigan was ranked 16, and Michigan beat them.
Exact circumstance. 22-14 in '84. It's 23-14 right now. 3rd and 5 for the Hurricanes. Gary down the middle, and Walsh missed him. Well, Steve threw 2 bad passes, and that's early.
He did, and his confidence has to be a little bit shaken, Pete, because they came out fired up. They had 2 good drives. They were down near the Michigan goal line, and a tip ball resulted in 1 interception. They got another drive going and another tip ball and an interception, and he threw 2 poor passes there. He says, what do I have to do?
Tim Kalal is in the front, 3rd of the day. He hasn't really hit one yet. Callaway is deep for Michigan. Got a little better rhythm on that one. And Callaway will go down. Brought down in a hurry by Anthony Hamlet, a freshman linebacker, 41-yard punt. So we've got 1:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. Michigan has the football at their own 32, first down.
Hello. Business has sure picked up here at Lucky's Castaway.
Let's go blue, ringing through the crowd of 105,834. As Michigan comes up, first down just outside their 32-yard line. Michael Taylor has been a star today. Tony Bowles has been a workhorse today, and he will pick up about 2.5 yards on the carry before Shane Curry brings him down.
Number 75 is Skripanek. Weighs 322 pounds. He's blocking on Maryland. Number 44, Curry, gets in there and makes the play. There are times when Curry, who weighs 245, is against Skripanek at 322. He's outweighed by 75 pounds.
But he's quicker.
Speed against power.
Little handoff to Bowles and a big hole. First down, 45-yard line. Miami got great penetration, but Michigan had the right play called at the right time. Bernard Clark, the tackle. He's been all over the field all day.
Last year, Michigan's offense was pretty good in the Big Ten. First in rushing offense. To see how they're doing against Miami today. Bowles has 124, 60 yards more than the entire Miami football team.
Again, and Clark again making the tackle.
I guess that's 40 yards more. My math isn't too good right now. I need my calculator.
That's a Purdue graduate.
No, please.
Got a quarter to go in the ball game. Michigan 23 and Miami, the top-ranked team in the country, 14. Just 15 minutes, and the top-ranked team in the country is trailing by 9, and the leading team, Michigan, has the ball. Second down at 4, Tony Bowles. And he's greeted by Randy Shannon right about the line of scrimmage and stops.
Let's take a look at the third quarter statistics. Rushing 164 yards, but the key for Michigan, but the key is the turnovers for the Hurricanes. 4 turnovers. Can't do that and expect to win.
Tracy Williams goes in motion. Bowles is out right now. Taylor's pass to the sideline. McMurtry for a first down. Greg McMurtry brought down by Donald Ellis. Michigan's impressive today, I'll tell you.
With the speed of McMurtry, you have to give him some room, and Taylor's got the confidence now. They've got one-on-one coverage on the outside. They're thinking run. Now, Michigan.
Just inside the 38. There goes Williams. And he's brought down by Maurice Crum, number 49. Give him maybe a yard.
Keith, not only has Miami won 19 straight road games, but they've won 33 straight regular season games. I think that's about the 7th longest in NCAA history that is on the line here today also.
The turnover has been a problem for the Hurricanes. And a very angry Michigan football team after playing poorly at Notre Dame and losing by 2. And right here, Taylor spends a timeout.
From the frigid Great Lakes, 3 Oklahoma takes on the defending Pac-10 champion, 5th-ranked USC. Or number 8 LSU meets Ohio State next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
Well, that'll be an interesting game next week. Both of them. That LSU winning big at Tennessee. They're on the road for a 2nd straight week at Columbus. John Cooper having won his opening game. Of course, Oklahoma, Southern California, Lordy, the Coliseum may sink.
You think it'll be sold out?
No. But I think they'll probably get 90. Now, who moves up? UCLA, they play Long Beach State. They figure they could be number 1 unless this thing changes here. So it's a lot of time left, 13-16. Michigan's ball, 2nd down, a little less than 10. Look out. That's the corner, Kenny Berry. I think he was down before the ball came loose. Boy, Berry got him, though, didn't he?
Woo. Sure did. Play action away. Here's Berry at the top. He's going to fake away from him, and he's just going to get in here. This is a real blind-sider right here. Michigan is lucky that the ball didn't come loose. As you see, doesn't even see Berry.
Taylor's hurt, too. He's limping, and he's going to have to come off the field. Last week in that Notre Dame game, we get it, I guess. Tape machine screwed up on it, but those things bounce around. Sometimes they won't set down for us. Demetrius Brown will go into the game for the 2nd time. Demetrius has run 1 play. That was late in the 2nd half, remember, when they were down there threatening to score. Taylor set out 1 play and came back. But Taylor last week at Notre Dame had the most nervous feet you've ever seen. This week he's hung in there pretty well. Right now he's out because one of those puppies is barking. And Brown is back to throw it. Down the middle, tight end, Walker, first
before the safety can get there. Flo said yesterday, we've got to hold those linebackers and throw a little bit more. But when you run as well as they've run today, you can do that.
So it's first down at the Miami 14. Just inside the 14, officially probably the 13. And Tony Bowles hooks his helmet down to around the 12. Talking about Skretnak a while ago, Greg is still 18 years old. 320 pounds. I mean, his body hasn't even caught up yet, you know. But there's a long distance between the electric spark noggins getting that big body moving.
He's taking the place of an All-American, John Elliott, who was there last year. 11 offensive players, I mean 9 of the 11 offensive players are back for this team. The only 2 they lost were Elliott and Jamie Moore.
If you're that good, that coordinated, that size, Taylor's back in at quarterback, missed by 1, but hunted down and run down from the backside by Russell Maryland, the big tackle. So Michael Taylor back into the game is going to lose outside the 15 on that play. Indiana won today, so Bill Mallory's Hoosiers are 2-0. For the Washington Huskies, we're getting a bit of a tussle from Army's Wishbone out in the Northwest. What about the Cougars playing the Oregon Ducks? Oregon had a 6-0 lead early on in that ball game. Pac-10 looks like tough conference this year. It's third down and good 12. Close to 13. Taylor's pass to the corner. Touchdown, Callaway!
In a second.
Going to kick this extra point. Let's send it through.
All right, the receiver's going to run an outside corner pattern. Watch the blitz here. And watch Taylor as he comes back. He's going to throw this ball before the man comes out of his break. He sees his right. He throws it right now. The man is still in his break. He gave it a lot of walk, a lot of time. That's a mark of a good quarterback right there. He threw it way ahead of the man breaking.
Cinches it, feels it, instinctive. Chris Callaway, who just caught the touchdown pass to make it 30-14 Michigan. And the water is very deep right now for the Miami Hurricane. Hill and Spencer deep. Michigan has dominated this ball game. They're probably one field goal away from being a top 5 team in the national rankings, too.
Well, made that kick last week.
Well, that Gillette's got a leg on it. He knocked that thing 3 yards deep into the end zone. This is Lando Hill. And hunted down at the 14-yard line. And there's a penalty flag up near the 20. Dusty Fichtner, who recovered a fumble early on, made that hit. Near the conclusion of today's game, we'll participate in an 18-year-old tradition here on our college football presentation, clipping against Miami. We will select the Chevrolet most valuable player of the game from each of the teams. Chevrolet donating a $1,000 scholarship in each player's name to each school to assist qualified students in pursuit of excellence in their chosen team. Now, Bo Schembechler's got a grin. Wyoming's a good football team. I'll tell you right now, they are tough. And Oregon looks like a pretty good football team. That game's being played in Pullman. Washington State having come back to the Big Ten and whacked Illinois and Minnesota. All right, the penalty takes them all the way back to the 7. Ball's at the goal line, puts it up. Fly pattern down the sideline intended for Andre Brown. The bigger of the wide receivers for Miami at 6'3", but defended well by David Key.
Walsh just threw that one up in hopes that the tall Andre Brown might get up and make a play on it. You know, Keith, it's not inconceivable that the Hurricanes can score 17 points in the last 10 minutes, but they're going to have to use all of their possessions, and their defense is going to have to stop Michigan, something they really haven't done all day.
That's the key. Defense. You've got to step up here and stand up Michigan. And that today looks like a considerable chore. Walsh again throwing. Out to Conley out of the backfield, and Leonard is rolled out of bounds around the 15 by Trip Wellborn and David Arnold. Miami hurrying now, no huddle. Now they'll go back to the huddle because I don't think Steve realized that he'd gone out of bounds, but he has. So it'll be 3rd down and about 3.
See that Ron Holder is back in the offensive lineup for the Hurricanes at center. Helped off a little earlier in the ball game.
Crowd really in it right now. Underneath, caught by didn't catch it. Dawkins. Dawkins had it, went down, didn't have it when he went down. Well, they got to punt it.
Yeah, and he wasn't happy about it. He said, let's go ahead and kick it. You can see right here, this play is covered. Grant is right there, and also Murray comes in at the last minute. He made up his mind ahead of time to throw there no matter what. We couldn't see it come out, but the official was right there.
Allowed to punt, Callaway back. Well, he jerked that one out of bounds, and he's going to give Michigan possession of the ball at the Miami 41, netting only 26 yards on the punt. He has not had a good day.
We save $200 at Radio Shack on a...
Give you some idea how this game structure has gone along, how it's been built. This is the 4th Michigan possession to start in Miami territory. The average starting field position for the Hurricanes today has been their own 17-yard line. Well, the Wolverines have been pretty rough. From the 41 on 1st down, the fullback gets a carry, Jared Bunch, and he makes something out of it. He gets down to about the 35 for 6 yards. Fullbacks have not seen the ball much today for Michigan.
Well, the story of this game, Keith, has been the defense. Michigan's defense has done a good job. Miami has not stopped Michigan that much. 2 punts all day for the University of Michigan.
But Michael Taylor, on the other hand, has been a sparkler, hasn't he?
No question about it.
2nd and 4. Tony Bowles, he'll lose. He was going to try to veer it outside, but Bill Hawkins and Greg Mark were both there. And that's a stop, but Mark is down. So the big junior from Pennsauken, New Jersey, shaken up. It hasn't been a place for candy rumps out there today because these big people along the trenches have really been hammered at each other. Next Sunday, wheel to wheel, 160 miles an hour. You got it. ABC Sports featuring same-day coverage of the Bosch Spark Plug Grand Prix Kart Auto Race. Wow, that's a name. All the top names will be in it. 200 miles. Action at 4 Eastern, 3 Central, and Pacific next Sunday on ABC Sports.
There's Jimmy Johnson. has done an outstanding job with this program. It's his 5th year at the University of Miami. They've had 2 straight seasons of undefeated football, 4 straight January 1 bowl games. Under his guidance, the last 4 years, they've raised their graduation rate to nearly 70%. You see Mark being helped off the field.
He's a good player. Playing at a defensive tackle at 240 pounds these days is a pretty good challenge, because you just almost know that the people you're going to be working against are going to outweigh you 30 to 40 pounds.
You know, somehow I think Mark and Johnson were similar players. When Jimmy was a defensive tackle for Arkansas, I got to think that Johnson's got a special kind of admiration for Mark.
All right, it's 3rd down and 7. And Bill Hawkins comes across the line. Let's see about it, because Taylor was moving around at the quarterback. It might get him on a head bob.
Well, he forgot the snap count. That's the first mistake he's made all day.
Taylor's 14 out of 21, 198 yards and 3 touchdowns he's accounted for. The last Michigan quarterback to throw for 200 yards would have been Harbaugh back in '86 against Ohio State. Jimmy went for 261 yards. You know, the thing about college football, Bob, is that Michael Taylor couldn't win the job last year, and Michigan had a hard time. I mean, Demetrius Brown did not have a good season. The team had a pretty good year, but Demetrius didn't really come around until late. Taylor back, and he's caught, run down by Bill Hawkins, the ever-present Hawkins, and he's going to get back to about the line of scrimmage. It was 3rd down and 13. And now they're going to have to punt the ball away. But here, in a year's time, Michael Taylor has gained that little extra edge and maturity that now suddenly he.
And he's not your prototype drop-back quarterback. But I was asking Bo yesterday, I said, you know, if Taylor doesn't do well, will you go back to Demetrius Brown, who started so many games for you last year? And he looked at me and says, I want to see if Michael Taylor can beat Miami. In other words, he was going to go with him the entire way.
Yeah. Well, he's that way. He did that last year with Demetrius.
Yes, he did.
They had 7 turnovers in that one game. That ball skips back to Gillette, but Mike gets it out of there and gets a good punt on it. And it goes ricocheting into the end zone. He didn't really have a chance at it. Got to get a little help on the bounce, and that went straight in. 43 yards on it. 7:16 to play in a ball game, and Michigan leads by 16 points. On this campus, I think, as far as athletics is concerned, produces sufficient revenue to sustain itself. The hockey team makes money. The basketball team going very well under Bill Frieder. Saw Don earlier today. He's doing a lot of fishing. And he's a great guy. Just been terrific. That's passed downfield. Good to Dawkins. And Steve Walsh threads the needle on a long one to get a first down for the Miami Hurricanes out at their 43-yard line.
A hurry-up offense as we look at Dawkins going downfield. Michigan now is forcing the Hurricanes to throw the ball to their wide receivers, shutting off the inside stuff to the backs and tight ends.
This dance ain't over. 7 minutes to play. Walsh back to throw. Got another. Oh, Connolly can't pull it in. Just a little off the mark, and Leonard stretching that 5'9" as far as he could, but he couldn't come up with it. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. When you throw the ball as well as Miami does, you can ring it up pretty quick if the other folks help you. But Michigan's going to have to help Miami with a turnover or two or something. It's going to have to go in their favor, and they haven't had a whole lot of luck turn their way so far today because Michigan has just been double touched. 2nd down and 10. A little quick one. And Connolly can't handle it, and Milligan, John Milligan, Jr. out of Trenton, Michigan, number 30, the linebacker, was right in his face and was involved in his failure to hang on to that little pop. Because Walsh, I tell you, Connolly hangs on. Ooh, look out.
No question. Walsh, an intelligent looky here. There's nobody lined up over Connolly. He's going to come straight down, and what Walsh does is just check to it. Because I'll just pop you right now. Look at the running room he would have had. If only.
Milligan didn't hit the ball, but he was in the way. Just enough. 3rd and 10. Is it good? Yes, sir. He's in bounds just inside the Michigan 45. Andre Brown, number 83. Oh, it's on the Michigan 44, and it'll be a Miami first down. 6:53 to play in the ball game. Here's Mike.
Keith, one of Miami's defensive coordinators was on the sidelines trying to exhort his troops, say we need some key turnovers next time, but the sparkle wasn't in the players' eyes, and Michigan has taken it away. And a superbly conditioned Miami team, they look fatigued.
Walsh back. Gets it off under pressure down the middle. Chudzinski, the big tight end from Toledo, pulls it in. That's a pickup of 20 down to the Michigan 24. David Key brought him down. This Miami offense, they sort of remind me of a basketball team. They go in surges. They go bang, 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 bang.
Well, it's a pro style of offense. They do everything a pro team does. And you see this with a good 2-minute drill right here.
Underneath. Pass good. Gain to about the 19. Caught by Cleveland Gary out of the backfield. Pickup is, call it 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4. Last time they were down knocking on the door, they turned it over. Walsh down the middle. Throws it away. He didn't have anybody.
He didn't have anybody. He's very alert, unselfish. He doesn't try to complete every pass. If it's not covered, he won't take a sack, and he won't throw the interception. He came into this game with only 7 interceptions in his career. He was 13-0 as a starter. He's never lost a game as a starter for the University of Miami. Very alert, very aware. There's a lot of checking off at the line of scrimmage. Passing by Downs. On a balance. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down.
3rd down. Caught by Chudzinski. He's got it. 1st down. And they'll have him out around the 13. John Milligan and David Key. Oh, Miami, they'll call it the 12-yard line. And the Hurricanes are back down there knocking on the door again.
You know, this is where Miami was, Keith, at the opening of the half. And I think that the key, the turning point of the game was the first 2 drives Miami had of the 2nd half. They moved the ball very well, similar to this. Michigan didn't give in. They held their ground and got the tips for the interceptions, and then everything's been Michigan since then.
Dawkins to about the 7th. So that'll be a 5-yard pickup, and J.J. Grant, one of the inside backers, senior from Liverpool, New York, gets the call on that tackle up there, number 95. 2nd down. And that pass intended for Conley, but in reality, Conley was shielded totally, it looked like, by Milligan. He had to touch the ball over Milligan's head.
He had a chance.
Too hard.
He had a chance, but I think he felt there was too much risk of interception, and he couldn't do that down here. Michigan is not doing anything defensively. They're only rushing 3 or 4 men. They're playing 7 or 8 men in the secondary and not giving him anything easy. There's a lot of people down in that small area to cover.
Third down, that's good. Chudzinski, touchdown, Miami. He beat Beta Murray to get the TD at 5:23 to play.
Here he is right here. He's just going to break to the outside. As the outside receiver goes down, he's going to hit him with the ball to the outside. Watch as he throws the ball away from the defensive man. Close. In fact, Murray tried to pick it off.
They'll go for 2. They get it as Walt hits Dawkins.
That's a big 2 points, too.
You bet.
They're 1 touchdown and an extra point, or 2 points away from tying it.
With 5:23 to play, it is now 30 Michigan, 22 Miami.
To those
This dance ain't over.
Yeah, it's not quite over yet. Take a look at the two-point conversion. That's critical. If they don't make this, they need 2 scores. Now they need 1. A little slant to Dawkins, number 11. Puts them 8 points down and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion from tying this game.
What do you think about an onside here?
No, I think they're going to kick it deep.
Edgar Bennis. Got all of it. Bowles at the 2. Pretty good coverage by Miami. Michigan back inside its 15. Just down the road about 5 miles or so. Eastern Michigan's getting ready to play Kent State. And our pal Mike Adamley has a special interest in this one because his daddy, Dr. Tony, is one of the team physicians with Kent State. Going to the game, Mike?
If you don't mind, I'm going to celebrate my college football Saturday with a little doubleheader and hopefully catch the second half. Kent State Golden Flash. And speaking of all the talent that comes from Florida, I have a great quarterback by the name of Patrick Young, who hails from Miami, and it's going to be good to see my dad.
Yeah, I bet it is. Dick Crum, now the head coach over at Kent State, undefeated, and Jim Harkema done a heck of a job at Eastern Michigan. All right, it's first down Michigan from their 14-yard line. Here's where you really, really need the power of an offensive front. Jared Bunch, the fullback, carries it. It's the quickness of Miami against the weight muscle of the Michigan offensive front as we come up on 5 minutes to play in the ball game.
Well, that's for sure. And you're looking at a man right there that's calling the plays, Bo Schembechler. What an outstanding job he has done at Michigan over the years. 20 years at Michigan, the winningest active Division I coach.
Second down and 7 for Michigan. Bowles gets a hold of the outside and gets it up to around the 20. It'll be third down and 4. Maurice Crum and Bernard Clark ran him down. Miami with all 3 of its times out remaining. Walker checks in at tight end. Callaway comes in. Colasar comes out. Brown comes out. Double wide now to the top of your picture. On third and a long 4. Taylor's pass. McMurtry makes out of bounds.
Jimmy Johnson
called it, and one said no, and one said yes.
He was bobbling the ball. Jimmy was right there, and the official agreed with him. The one at the top of your screen says yes. Watch the ball being bobbled. Well, I don't know. I guess it was. I couldn't really tell. It was slow motion, but the one at the bottom of the screen, Jimmy says it was bobbled. The official on the right says, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's close.
Get Jimmy
done a pretty good sales job, didn't he?
Yeah.
Miami's got 10 up on the line, going after Gillette on 4th down. Back to punt. Hold it. Gillette didn't get a very good punt out of it, but doesn't make any difference. The whistle's before the snap, and I think Michigan's going to get dinged for 5 right here. Kimmerling.
Have a dead ball. Illegal procedure against the offense. 4th down.
That means somebody moved.
Well, it was 3rd and 4. They may have been trying to do something to entice the Hurricanes to jump offside to get an easy 1st down.
Now Gillette really needs a big one. Michigan needs a big one. It's a low line drive. Spencer's back and had called a fair catch. He had room to run, but he had committed himself to a fair catch. And rather than risk anything, he gets Miami the ball 1st down on the 43.
Well, they had a punt block on it, looked like. He just was told to catch it. He wanted to get the offense on the field without chancing a turnover. Miami's got the best field position offensively that they've had all day.
Now it's up to the Michigan defense with 3:45 to play in the ball game. Taylor throws under pressure, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Shannon Crowell. Mark Messner, in the meantime, planted Steve Walsh just as he released it. Messner, number 60.
The ball was right there. Jimmy Johnson was saying earlier that he's got a lot of young players on this ball club. Crowell is a sophomore getting to play this year for the first time. I mentioned earlier that Miami lost both of their backs, both tight ends and 3 wide receivers. He was concerned coming into the year about the young people. He said later on in the season, I think we'll be all right. That was a critical mistake. That could have been a big play offensively.
2nd and 10. Chudzinski, the big man from Toledo, the sophomore, has made some big catches for the Hurricanes. And it's a first down on the Michigan side of the field. Let's take 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
WAAY-TV, Huntsville.
Chudzinski has caught 6 balls for 77 yards. Walsh back to, that is not a first down. I called it first. It is not a first, and that pass is incomplete. And now it'll be 4th down and about 2 as Beta Murray nailed Cleveland Gary and made him cough it up. Michigan leading 30-22. Michigan has been pretty much a dominant team throughout the ball game. Miami, the top-ranked team in the country, staging a late 4th quarter rally.
You know, Keith, there's plenty of time. There's 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Miami has 3 timeouts left. But this is a critical...
Yeah, here they got 1 play.
That's right.
4th down and 2. It is Gary, first down at the 30, the 25, the 20. He's on his way. Touchdown, Miami.
Here's Gary here. Remember, it's 4th and 2. He's going to run a little slant in here. He wants to hit him, but watch the linebackers. He wants to hit him right in here. Now stop it right there if you would. Look at all the people that are covering him. He's going to hit it over here, past all the linebackers.
2
Gary
Michigan
makes a
people
good play.
got tangled up and blocked each other out of the play.
It was a good ad-lib by Walsh and by Gary because that's not where the pass was supposed to be completed.
2:58 to play. Miami is going for 2 and the tie. 2 and the tie. Intercepted.
They're going to tackle him. He can run.
He went down with it.
Yeah.
David Arnold. So the try for 2 points backfires at 2:58 to play in the ball game. But there is still time.
Right here. He wants to go to the man curling right in here. And watch, everybody's going to be covered. Look into the end zone. Everybody will be covered. The man he's going to throw it to is at the bottom right. There's nobody open. And he throws the ball. He cuts in front of him for the interception. Good defense.
So now Miami must kick it off to Michigan. And the Michigan offense really needs to reel off a couple of first downs. There's the story on that last scoring possession by Miami. Now, I don't know if this means anything or not, but Carlos Huerta is now has put the ball on the tee to kick it off. Edgar Benes has been kicking it off all day, and he's been kicking it deep. With Huerta in there, does that mean they have something else in mind?
I don't think you're going to onside it, Keith, because you've got 2 minutes and 58. You got 3 minutes to go, and you got 3 timeouts. Maybe he's going to pooch it or something, huh?
It certainly looks like an onside. Maybe he's going to pop it up. No, they go the onside. They got a chance. They got it. Miami got the ball. Bobby Harden, the strong safety, went up in the air and got it at the Michigan 47-yard line. Who has this thing turned around? Michigan had a 30 to 14 point lead in the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable. Michigan for 3. The Hurricanes are the aggressor. You know, some of the Michigan players can come up and block the Hurricanes before the ball gets 10 yards.
Well, Michigan got caught. Michigan didn't believe that they were going to go onside and left their receiving team in. If they'd have had a sense that they were going to do that, then they'd have had receivers and backs and all everybody else.
They had 9 men up there, and Wellborn is one of the receivers and defensive back.
Walsh back on first down from the Michigan 47 down the middle. It is intended for Chudzinski and incomplete. 2:52 to play.
Here we get down to Walsh. Now, Walsh, I mentioned, has never lost a game as a Hurricane starter. He came into this game with 7 interceptions on the year, in the career. Through 2 today, both of them were tipped. He has moved the ball club down in 2-minute drills to score 14 points. He needs one more drive.
Second down and 10.
Blitz.
Outside, Andre Brown makes the catch, and they mark him at the Michigan 33. First down, Miami.
Michigan changed up, Keith. I was just going to say they have not blitzed many times all day, maybe twice. They've been getting eaten up by dropping back. That time they blitzed. Protection was there, and Walsh threw the open man.
Steve Walsh is now 24 out of 45 for 335 yards.
Here they come again.
Gary running it. Still going with it. Michigan defensive people look tired on that play as Miami's Cleveland Gary hammers his way to the 16.
Well, they were pulling the ball. They were blitzing now from everywhere. That's why you see the gap up the middle. Watch him go for the ball here. The ball does come out, I believe. Oh, he's down before it comes out.
Michigan man shaken up. Time taken for the injured player. It's number 26, David Key. Well, it might be too early to vote for the MVPs, but here they are. For Michigan, got to be Michael Taylor. 14 out of 22, 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. Big day for him, best ever. And Cleveland Gary for Miami, who has scored 2 touchdowns receiving and 1 running. 9 catches for 162 yards and 42 yards and 11 carries. And so a check in the amount of $1,000 donated by Chevrolet and the names of those players to each university's general scholarship fund. The Michigan man still down. Meantime, the Miami offense is called collectively over to talk to the coaching staff, and you've got 2 minutes and 38 seconds to play in a ball game that has absolutely turned around in the last 10 minutes.
In the last 7 minutes. This has been unbelievable. Schembechler and his staff defensively has done a great job all day. The last 7 minutes, Jimmy Johnson on the headset talking with offensive coordinator Gary Stevens, who has done a magnificent job getting Walsh ready to play, and Walsh bringing this team down the last 2 drives. You know, they've got plenty of time. They're within kicking range. As you look at the coaching staff right there.
Well, point is, though, Bob, that first down right here at the 16 of Michigan, even if Michigan is able to stop them here, they're certainly well within Werther's field
But your
goal.
field goal kicker, Miami lost 13 starters and their 2 kickers last year off their ball club. Their kicker is a redshirt freshman who is a walk-on. He's kicking in his 2nd game in his college career, and I'm sure that Johnson and Gary Stevens, the coordinator, say, let's don't sit back for a field goal. Let's try to get it in and score.
All right, here it is, first down. Clock running. They'll run it. Goes to Crowell, and Crowell goes down just short of the 15-yard line. You want to know how coaching is these days? Well, here you've got the potential for a huge turnaround victory. You hand it to a 19-year-old sophomore.
Yeah, yeah. And Bo Schembechler experienced that just last Saturday against Notre Dame. They lost on a late field goal. There's no guarantee that Miami's going to make this field goal if, in fact, that's what they're playing for.
Second down, about 9. They'll run it again. mean, there is nothing there. And Michigan has called a timeout.
Well, they've got to.
1:35 to play in a ball game.
Pride, dedication.
Well, there's the man, Carlos Huerta, staying loose on the sideline. Do you think they might change their mind now and for at least one play leave their conservative attitude and throw it in the end zone?
I got to question the way they played the last 3 series and getting the ball down there with plenty of time left on the clock and 3 timeouts. And then stopping, taking the ball out of Walsh's hand and giving it to a redshirt freshman, Huerta. May come in and kick it. Well, but at least I would let Walsh maybe throw some safe passes, and they do have safe passes.
You still got 1:35. Michigan's got 1 timeout remaining. They hit 1 big play, and you don't know what Gillette's going to do. He might kick a 50-yarder for you, too.
Well, there's no question that part of the theory was to take some time off the clock.
Right.
They wanted to take some time off the clock. But I would be surprised here if Miami didn't do something to try and make this first down instead of just running it into the line again.
Long football game. Third down from the Michigan 15. Oh, they give it to Conley. Run it back into the middle of the field. And now it's up to Huerta. And the snapper. And the holder. And the stomachs and nerves of all 3. Huerta is a redshirt freshman. Kirk Sandifer, the holder, is a senior. The snapper is a tight end, Mike Pigza, a redshirt senior, 5th-year senior that would make him, from Willoughby, Ohio.
This kid's a walk-on from Christopher Columbus High School in Miami. He won the place-kicking job in the fall practice before the season started.
It's a 29-yard try. Snap was low. The kick is away. The kick is good. And Miami has gone to a 31-30 lead over the Michigan Wolverines with 43 seconds to play. Oh, boy.
That's the biggest kick of that young man's life. Sandifer, the third-team quarterback. You got to hand it to Johnson, though, to have the confidence in this young kid. He took the ball out of his offense, who had played so well. 19 straight road wins, regular season. Of course, the game is not over with. You know, it'd be tough for any team to lose this ball game. Michigan has played so well. The Hurricanes have played well. Father Leo giving him a big hug. The team chaplain that travels with the ball club.
Now Edgar Bennis is in to kick, and Bennis is going to kick it out of the county if he can.
Michigan has 1 timeout, 43 seconds left to play.
Miami scored 17 points in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Michigan's defensive people just wore out. Way back to Colasar. Comes back to the 23, and there's 38 seconds on the clock. If you got a trick play or a gimmick you haven't shown,
Well, Michigan needs to go about 30 yards, Keith, to get into field goal range for Gillette.
Taylor has time. Sideline, down. Catching the ball at the 31 is Bowles. They've only got one timeout. The clock is running. Michigan hurrying, no huddle, 25 seconds.
This is not the strength of the University of Michigan's game right here.
Taylor gets it away. The ball is caught by Bowles at the 40, steps out of bounds. You've got 12 seconds. He almost got over the line of scrimmage.
Well, you have to throw the ball downfield now. There's 12 seconds left. You have one timeout. You've got to throw it deep, either a deep out pattern or a deep square in.
Taylor is out. Came out holding his leg. Taylor is out of the ball game, and Demetrius Brown has to go in under this circumstance. Michigan hasn't opened the season 0-2 since 1959. So Demetrius Brown is in for the play. Taylor had to come out dragging his leg. Demetrius Brown rolls right, throws left-handed, sideline. That's interference. Oh, no, they don't call it. Maybe it wasn't a catchable ball. It looked like Bobby Harden ran up his back, but I guess it couldn't have been a catchable ball. Whoa, he hit him early, but he was out of bounds.
He hit him with his body, yeah.
I think both players were out of bounds.
It was too close for Harden to be hitting him, I'll guarantee you that, if the ball was catchable.
That would have been 15 yards. That would have put him on the Miami 45. You've got 5 seconds, one timeout. Brown used a lot of time rolling out. And there's one of the Michigan men leaving. T, the defensive back. Brown shakes him off and throws it. It's into the crowd. Kolesar is shoved down in the melee, and the time runs out, and the Miami Hurricanes was one of the most dramatic comebacks you have ever seen. Miami comes back in the last 5 minutes of the ball game to beat Michigan 31-30. Here's Mike Adamle.
Steve, an improbable comeback and has to be the greatest victory in your young career.
Well, I told the offensive line we had done it before up in Florida State last year. Big thing with our offense, be patient. We're going to make the plays.
Before the 30-14 comeback, you were having some problems out there, yet you regained your poise and marched them right down the field.
I made a few bad throws, and we had guys open. We just got to capitalize on the throws, and we did.
Jimmy Johnson, congratulations. In all your years of coaching, have you ever been involved in a comeback like this?
Well, no, I think this is the finest comeback I've been around. You know, to overcome the turnovers that we had, the problems we had in the early part of the ball game, it really shows something about this football team. It's a very young group, very inexperienced group, but they grew up in a hurry today.
I know you have the greatest admiration in the world for your counterpart today, Bo Schembechler. It's got to be a little tough on him, but
I tell you, Michigan played a great ball game. They're a great institution. I've got fantastic respect for Bo Schembechler. It's a shame that somebody had to lose this ball game. I'm just proud of our guys, the way they hung in there, because they could have checked it in when they were down 16 points during the fourth quarter, but you know, they said, you know, we're going to play some defense, we're going to see what happens. We're going to try to put it down there, go 2 minutes. We went 2-minute offense with about 7 or 8 minutes to go in the game, because that's the only way we're going to be able to put the points on the board.
Honestly, what was your gut reaction when it was 30-14?
Well, I've been afraid of this ball game for the last week. You know, they were coming off of a disappointing loss. We were coming off of an easy win. And we go out there and we turn the ball over. And when we got down 30-14, I knew our guys would still play hard, but I was concerned that maybe they might have some doubts whether or not they could win it or not. But, yeah, I guess they figured they're going to give it their best effort. Regardless whether or not they could believe they could win or not, they're going to give it their best effort.
Jimmy, congratulations. An unbelievable victory in the Big House here in Ann Arbor.
Like I said, our guys grew up today.
Okay. Keith? Thanks.
All right, Mike. Well, that's about as good as we can do for you, I think, folks. I don't know how in the world you improve on that one. The final score, Miami storms back to beat Michigan 31-30. This ABC Sports Exclusive brought to you by the heartbeat of America, today Chevrolet. By Coors Light, no slowing down with a silver bullet. Right beer now. ABC's Monday Night Football, Indianapolis Colts, Cleveland Browns. Next Saturday, ABC's College Football, Oklahoma, Southern California, or LSU, Ohio State. Check local listings. Left courtesy Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. This a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.